what I want you to think about right now, just for a moment, every football play, on average, from the time the ball is snapped to the time there's tackle, is 7 seconds. Now, every offensive player, every defensive player, the first 2 seconds of the play, everybody's same. Everybody's the same. Everybody has a skill or a technique that you've been coached, that you've been practiced to do. The difference lies in seconds 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Seconds 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 come down to your why. Why do you want to put that jersey on? Why do you want to wear that helmet? Why are you sitting in this locker room right now? What are you willing to do in those 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 seconds? So do these guys in this locker room, do they mean enough to you to give them 5 seconds at a time? Does it matter that much to you, or are you going to take a play off? Or are you going to let an opportunity slip through your hands? You're going to be tested tonight. They're going to test you. Who rides?
We ride!
Oh, hey, good cut! Hey, good cut! Let's go, offense! Hopefully that switch has been turned on. They got the football. They're feeling like they're still in it. We have to eliminate that thought.
Oh, brother, take cover from the fire in the sky. Oh, sister.
quad yet. We still got more.
AVC Sports presents high school football. Tonight's game is brought to you by patrons Buckeye Mutual Insurance, Doan Ford, WB Green Insurance, West 40 Auto Sales, Valentine Insurance, People's Bank, Laborers Local 530, Forshee Air Picks, Rotorua Rehab and Wellness Center, Surgeon Construction, Troy Blair with Dunning Motor Sales, Dunkin' Donuts of Cambridge, Myra Shire for Municipal Court Judge, The Rogers Company, Stoney's RV Sales and Service, and Bruner Land Company.
I can shut up then.
We'll come back. Welcome to WILE Sports on this week number 5, YRP TV and Facebook.com. We're at Eugene Capers Field in Meadowbrook. Beautiful evening for week number 5 of football. The Riverview Black Bears and the Meadowbrook Colts. 3-1 to Meadowbrook, and Riverview coming into this one at 0-4. Our starting lineups, our pregame report, sponsored by Valentine Insurance. And our many thanks to Brett Klein and all the gang, too. We'll have lots to talk about. Howard Twiggs will join us in the booth here in just a moment. And we'll come back on WILE and on YRP TV with our pregame report in just a moment.
Real estate wonders to towering constructions or home inspection pictures, they've got it covered. Let them soar to new heights for you. Because unveil a new perspective with Forshee Air Picks. Their FAA-certified drone pilot captures breathtaking shots that elevate your moments. From dreamy weddings to stunning landscapes, real estate wonders to towering constructions or home inspection pictures, they've got it covered. Let them soar to new heights for you because they get the pictures you can't reach. Call 581-0919 and see your world from above with Forshee Air Picks. Raider Rehab in Byesville wants to wish the Meadowbrook football team good luck as they enter the 2023 season. Raider Rehab is Byesville area's only outpatient physical therapy clinic providing quality, patient-centered, one-on-one care, accepting all insurances and no waiting list. Experience quality care today, only at Raider Rehab. For more information, visit their website at RaiderRehabPT.com or give them a call, 740-685-9800. Go Colts!
Surgeon Construction is leading the way in commercial and industrial construction. This is Jason Emsch, and we are committed to providing exceptional construction experience from pre-construction through project completion. Our success is measured by exceeding our clients' expectations. See our past and previous projects at Cambridge YMCA and New Educational Center at Jurassic Park and FMJ Shooting Range, just to name a few. Find us online at surgeon.construction and like us on Facebook.
Surgeon Construction. We'll take it from here.
Attention all car seekers, ready to find the perfect new or used car? Look no further than Troy Blair at Dunning Motor Sales, where expert assistance awaits you. Troy Blair is a proud alum of the Meadowbrook Colts. Let him guide you to your dream ride. Troy will ensure you drive away in style with all your questions answered. So don't wait another moment. Visit Dunning Motor Sales today. Experience the difference Troy Blair can make in your car buying journey. You'll be hitting the road in your new vehicle in no time. 740-255-2334.
Are you paying too much for homeowners insurance? Has your insurance company raised your deductible? Hi, this is John Valentine with Valentine Insurance. Many people can't accurately answer these questions. With many premiums escrowed into mortgages, homeowners don't pay attention to changes to their policies anymore. It's time you visit Valentine Insurance for a true, no-obligation review of your insurance policy. Call 994-1776 or stop by our office at 739 Southgate Parkway in Cambridge.
I was sitting in my car and it wouldn't start. I lifted the hood and the engine was falling apart. What would I do? My eyes filled with tears. And And on the radio, I heard of West 40 by Pay here, where for a little money down and a little each week, I could have a car, nice, shiny, and sleek. So I walked in the door and I put the money down. Now I got a nice car that I can drive around. West 40 by Pay here will help rebuild your credit. The corner of Dewey and Route 40 in Cambridge, don't you forget it.
West 40 Auto Sales, corner of Route 40 and Dewey Avenue in Cambridge, is home of the guaranteed credit approval, with most loans approved while you wait. Go to their website to fill out an online loan application, west40autosales.com. You'll also find their weekly special listed there.
People's Bank's vision is to be the best community bank in America. People's Bank provides local, hometown relationship-based banking with 132 full-service branches for all of your financial needs. As your community bank, People's Bank strives to make our communities a better place to live, work, and play. We would love a chance to earn your business. People's Bank, working together, building success. Member FDIC.
97.7 on your FM dial. We're WILE FM, Byesville, Cambridge.
Welcome back, everybody, on WILE Sports. Dave Davidson, Howard Twiggs from Eugene Capers Field in beautiful Byesville. Boy, it's a gorgeous evening, Howard, isn't it, for week number 5?
Perfect weather, great hospitality here in the press box, all around, good atmosphere, good people. Hopefully a good game, Dave. We'll find out probably in the first couple of plays what's going on, because when we start with Riverview under Coach Tom Lasicki struggling, let's just, we can't sugarcoat it. We can't talk about it in any other way. They are 0-4, and they have been outscored literally by 40 points a game. They've only scored 3 offensive touchdowns on the season, so plenty of room for growth. Let's be charitable to Riverview, because I'm sure Coach Lasicki is probably working overtime trying to find a silver lining somewhere, something that he can build on. You know, lots of people have been in that situation with rebuilding programs, and certainly better times will be ahead for Riverview. One other note before we talk about the Colts, David. This is somewhat of a revenge game for Meadowbrook. They had their struggles last year at 1-9 under excellent coach Steve Norman, now in his 3rd year. But last year at Riverview, the Colts went down 39-28. The only other, to this point, revenge game that the Colts were trying to make up from last year was the Cambridge game. And just a couple of weeks ago, the boys from Byesville laid 60 on the Bobcats from down the other way.
There was some real bad blood between those. There's always been bad blood between but from last year to this year, yeah, that was revenge time for sure.
Yeah.
Also note too, Riverview so far in the first 4 games of the season, I mean, the teams that they've played here right now, Howard, I mean, they have a combined total of 11 wins between those 4 teams. So they've played some pretty stiff competition too. I know that's indicative, probably of most of their season. They've got Sheridan coming up, who's facing undefeated John Glenn tonight at home. Tri-Valley's coming up, John Glenn's coming up. I mean, their next 3 games after tonight are going to be murder. And then they finish, with probably a couple of winnable games if they show some improvement here. I mean, I know they got a lot of stiff competition yet ahead of them, but they have played some pretty decent competition already.
One of the problems, as you all know, is when you lose that confidence, you lose that competitive level of really wanting to go and give that extra step, and the losing becomes contagious. For Riverview, it's been survival, and you're right, Dave. This is a tough game tonight. Meadowbrook's a good football team at 3-1, but Sheridan next week, Tri-Valley, and then John Glenn. That's possibly 3 of the better schools in the league. And for Riverview, they get waxed tonight. We don't know yet, but let's just say that it doesn't come out their way. What does that say next week when you have to play the Generals?
Yep. And you're playing a freshman quarterback in McGuire Wentz, who's a nice athletic-looking kid, but he's a freshman. He's really being thrown to the wolves here this year in varsity football.
Well, again, when you look at playing underclassmen in Riverview, a smaller roster, so I think that tells me that Coach Lasicki has come in and said, okay, this is how we're going to do it, fellas. We're going to do it my way. We're going to do it to build the way I want it to build. You're either coming along or you're stepping aside. And that's the way it has to be. Because if you do what you've always done, you get what you've always gotten. So for Riverview, fresh start, new coaching staff, new guys, new approach. Yes, it's going to be difficult for a while, but hang in there, kids. We'll see what happens down the road.
And for Meadowbrook, Justice Huey has done a nice job of managing this team so far this year. He's got weapons. There's weapons in the running game and the passing game on this Colts team, and they're putting them all on display so far in the first 4 games.
One of the other things that they've really got a great thing going is defensively under DC, defensive coordinator Matt Dalton. He's pretty much rebuilt what the Colts have done defensively, and they really have shown the differences this year. So they've given up some points. But again, with that prolific offense that you're talking about, with the weapons they have, especially in the running game, Dylan Rivera, Cooper McManaway, Braden Block, they're all very, very capable. And Justice Huey, now in his second year of full-time status, he can run, he can throw, he's a complete quarterback. So this is a well-balanced Meadowbrook team, and it shows at the 3-1 mark. Well, they've got this game tonight at 0-4 Riverview, but they've got a huge test coming up next week at John Glenn, who, at least for the time being, they are undefeated. So who knows what happens Friday night. But you can't look ahead if you're Meadowbrook, because if you look ahead to John Glenn, Riverview will come up and bite you.
Mm-hmm. No doubt. The Colts to this point so far, they have thrown in some points, averaging around 30 points. That's been a little bit inflated with a 60-point win. That's 60 points against Cambridge. A little bit inflated, but still wins against Maysville, Indian Valley, Cambridge, and Crooksville. A couple of those teams, Crooksville's an improved team this year. They struggled to score touchdowns last year. Indian Valley's been a playoff team the last 2 or 3 years. Now, they lost in that game on the road. I think that was probably their really only real test so far to find out just exactly where this team is right now. Obviously, Steve Norman knows they've got a long way to go yet.
Well, let's talk Indian Valley for just a second. From everything I hear and understand, they're a very, very good football team. So, you lose that second game of the year at Indian Valley, take away that one, and from the area, or at least the competition they've had, they're 3-0 and looking again to go 4-0 with Riverview. By the way, Riverview did win the coin toss, and I believe they elected to receive. So Coach Nasicki, I think, wants to put his offense on the field right away. So, for Meadowbrook, it's a chance to set it up defensively, and we'll see what they're all about. And that's a real swing point, because you take the ball offensively, you're not a very high-powered offensive team, and you go 3 and out, and you give up field position, boy, that's almost like an extra score for the defense. Not only have you stopped them quick, but you're going to get the ball bang, bang in great field position. So, for Meadowbrook, that's a great scenario with Riverview elected to take the kickoff.
Our sponsors for tonight's game: Laborers Local 530, West 40 Auto Sales, WB Green Insurance, Surgeon Construction, Bruner Land Company, Rogers Company, Rotorua Rehab, Patrons Buckeye Mutual Insurance, People's Bank, Doan Ford, Valentine Insurance, Duncan in Cambridge, Myra Schurer for Municipal Judge, Stoney's RV, Troy Blair with Dunning Motor Sales, and Forsey Air Picks. Our many thanks to those folks for sponsorship of tonight's game. Let's look as the Colts now take the field in their home brown jerseys with the sparkling orange helmets and white pants. We'll look at the Riverview offensive lineup here first. Howard Landon Frame along the front line, 6'1", 245-pound junior tackle. The other tackle will be Darian Basankin, 6'5", 265 pounds, a senior. Kidron Snow is one of the guards, a junior at 5'10", 220 pounds. And the other guard, Dalen Lemon, 5'10", 225-pound junior. The center is Conley Weber, a junior at 5'8", 190 pounds. Daniel McCarthy, the tight end, 5'10", 185-pound junior. The lone wide receiver we'll see for a good portion of the night, 6', 155-pound senior Braden Abreu. The running backs, Riverview will use primarily 3 at a time in either a wishbone or a wing T type of offense. The Wyatt Weiss, a 6'1", 200-pound senior, is at one wing. Brody Buxton, 6 foot 180-pound junior, is at the other. The fullback is J.D. Herron, 5'9", 200-pound senior. And as we said, McGuire Wertz, the freshman quarterback, at 6 foot 180.
Dave, I think we need to apologize and make an adjustment. It appears as though Riverview will kick off. So the early indication, they did the coin flip some time ago, and the indication from the officials indicated that Riverview had won the toss and elected to receive. So somebody's changed their mind. Not a big deal. So we will stand corrected, and Riverview will in fact kick off. So,
or someone's played a trick on us.
Is it Halloween?
All right, could be.
That's close enough.
Yep. We'll look at the Meadowbrook offense now as they will take the field here shortly. Front line of Meadowbrook from left to right will be Mitchell George, 6'6", 275-pound junior. Casey Clendenning, a sophomore at 5'8", 255. Zayden Yeagle is the center, number 52 at 5'11", 200-pound senior. On the right side of the line, Ethan Hetty, a junior at 6'1", 270 pounds, and Talon Cannon, a tackle on the right side at 6'2", 255 pounds, a senior. We'll see wide receivers Bentley Cedar, 5'11", 170 pounds. Bentley Cedar, Nick Norman, the another wide receiver, one of the favorite targets of Huey, 5'11", 170-pound junior. Landon Kuhn at 6 foot 205 pounds, a junior. And Jake Burris, we'll see in there, number 6, a sophomore at 5'10". Kickoff sponsored by Valentine Insurance, a squibber. It'll be fumbled around the 28, scooped up at the 31, and coming around with it, I think that's Jake Burris, number 6, with the return up near the 40. Meadowbrook turning in about an 11-yard return. 1st and 10 for the Colts at Eugene Capers Field as we start week number 5.
Braden Abreu on special teams for Riverview, but a good starting point for Meadowbrook as they're going to have it 1st and 10 at their own 40.
Our thanks to our YRP TV crew, video director Brett Klein, our cameramen Andrew Dunlap and Brock Valentine. 1st and 10 from the 40. Colts Justice Huey at QB, fakes the handoff, quick hitch throw over the middle, and that's caught the tight end Landon Kuhn with that catch, and he scampers all the way to the Black Bear 40-yard line for a 20-yard pass play. Just a quick hitch right there. Great job by the quarterback to draw the defense up there and throw it right in between the coverage.
And a quick hitter for Meadowbrook. They're right back to the line of scrimmage.
And Huey on the play fake will keep it himself around the left tackle, find some space again into the secondary. Another 1st down carry and another WB Green Insurance 1st down for the 2nd straight play as he gets to the 27-yard line of Riverview with a 13-yard scamper.
2 plays, 2 1st downs. They're on the move.
Black Bears will play primarily a 34 defense. Out of the pistol again, a backward pass for Jake Burris. Burris catches it right flat, eludes a man at the 20 to the 15, 10, and is down at the 6. And number 6 gets to the 6 at another WB Green Insurance 1st down. And that'll be a gain of 21 on just a quick hitch. But hold the phone here, Howard. We have a penalty flag down at the 28. And it looks like Mombeck time.
Well, nice move that time by Burris after the catch, but I think somebody really honestly away from the play.
Maybe a legal man downfield?
Yeah, it's something that they're going to say a hold, but again, the move had already been made by Burris, so just kind of a late flag there. It goes against Meadowbrook. That's their first penalty, 10 yards from the spot.
So they'll mark it back to the 36, and that'll bring up 1st down 17. Justice Huey at quarterback again for the Colts, 6 foot 175-pounder, a junior. That'll be, I believe it's Dalen Rivera in the backfield, now bouncing up toward the line. That's looks like Braden Black, a sophomore. And that is incomplete, again on a quick hitch, looking for intended receiver Bentley Cedar. 2nd down 17 with 11:16 opening quarter, opening drive.
Riverview 4-man front, and they'll have the 2 stand-up linebackers just rushing the edge, trying to take away whatever Meadowbrook has, but Meadowbrook very content to throw over the middle.
And again, another quick hitch, kind of on the run-pass option sort of a play, and Landon Kuhn, that pass was thrown behind him. as Huey was off target there for the second straight time, and it'll be 3rd down and 17 coming up. The Black Bear defense up front, Darian Basantkin, Conley Weber, and Landon Frame, the 3-down linemen. J.D. Herron, Kidron Snow, 55, Wyatt Weiss, 15, and Gage Peterson, number 40, the linebackers. And on a 3rd and 17 handoff, this will be Braden Black around the left end. He gets back to the original line of scrimmage and then is whacked down around the 27. That'll be a gain of 8, it looks like, setting up a 4th and 9.
I think Meadowbrook probably is going to go for it. You're in pretty good shape where you've got it 4th and 9, but it's manageable the way they've moved the ball.
Looks like number 33, Aiden Rodriguez, with that tackle for Riverview. 4th and 9 play from the Black Bear 27, opening minute and a half of this ball game, and somebody from Riverview jumped offside. It looked like a good draw off by the Meadowbrook offense. It will be encroachment on the Black Bears, so now a 4th and 9 becomes a 4th and 4 here, Howard, and that's boy, a team that's 0-4 is making mistakes like that.
Exactly, and when you're young and you're not winning, those things tend to happen.
Still a 4th down and 4. Black Bears need a stop here. Out of the pistol, they nearly drew him off again, but just staying out of the neutral zone there was the nose tackle on the left end. And with 3 wides to the near right side, Huey looks that way, now throws wide over the middle, and it's caught by Landon Kuhn for a Meadowbrook Colt touchdown. Kuhn with the TD, and a beautiful throw by Huey, who had all kinds of time and all kinds of space for junior wide receiver Landon Kuhn to make it a 6-0 game, 10:19 remaining in this opening quarter.
Kuhn was open from the time he left the line of scrimmage at the tight end spot. Nobody even checked him. They're going to go for 2.
Trips receivers to the near right side of the field, and 1 wide out all by himself to the left, and empty backfield here for Justice Huey. Meadowbrook reviews the defense, and now Huey takes the snap, and it'll be a keeper all the way around the right end, takes a hit and plunges his way in, getting past linebacker Kidron Snow, in for the 2-point conversion run for Justice Huey to make it 8-0 lead for the Colts as they score on their opening drive of the contest. Riverview's offense will go to work. In the meantime, we'll step out for 30 seconds, and our coverage here on WILE 97.7 and on YRP TV continues after this.
Hey, Cambridge, your local Dunkin' is hiring. And while everybody knows that America runs on Dunkin', not everyone knows what Dunkin' runs on. We run on incredible crew members, flexible working hours, community spirit, career opportunities, affordable education opportunities, owners that work with you, and a whole lot of other perks. Want to come run with us? Text DONUTSCOLES, that's Donuts Coles, to 85000. America runs on Dunkin', and Dunkin' runs on you. Cambridge Dunkin' is locally owned and operated.
97.7 on your FM dial. We're WILE-FM, Byesville, Cambridge.
Dave Davidson and Howard Twiggs back to Eugene Capers Field in Byesville as the sun has just set itself down behind the trees at the west end zone. 8-0 here early, Howard, for Meadowbrook.
Yeah, Bentley Cedar about to kick off for the Colts, and just a picture-perfect drive, 73 yards, the one error, the one holding penalty, but excellent balls being thrown by Justice Huey and good catches by the Colts.
Well, now the Black Bear offense now already down 8-0. This is territory already where, after 4 weeks of this here, you're saying here we go again, and you want to keep the morale of this club up. If you're Coach Tom Lasecki. Meadowbrook will break out of their huddle. They usually come out of there and fake that onside kick. Instead, Valentine Insurance kickoff will bounce at the 20. It'll be scooped up by Brody Buxton, the junior, who scampers out on the far sideline, short of the 30-yard line, around the 27.5. Call it an 8-yard return. 1st and 10 for the Bears.
Good special teams that time by Meadowbrook. Coming up is Braden Black. Also Carter Watson in on the stop that time. So Riverview, not great field position. They'll have it 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They're going to right to left along your dial.
Wide receiver is Braden Abreu to the near side left. And freshman quarterback number 3, McGuire Werntz, 6 foot, 180-pounder. Work out of the wing tee, and a Colt jumping off there. That's Ethan Hetty, defensive tackle. Was he drawn off?
I think that's
That looks like a no, because he is on his way out with that mistake.
Now, for Riverview,
Now they're not-
yeah, pardon me, Dave, but for Riverview, when you only
They're gonna
have
mark it.
one guy out in, have they marked this yet?
They're getting around to it. I think
Okay, they're finally gonna
it's
mark
the
it, so
slowest encroachment penalty maybe this season so far, but they did get it.
Yeah, I was going to go out and grab a sandwich. So it's 1st and 5, but I was going to make the point about Riverview. They only have one guy in the pass pattern. So what that does for Meadowbrook, it allows you to rush 9-10 guys.
Yep. Out of the wing tee and the pistol. 1st and 5 now, Riverview. Look out, that was right off the hands of the quarterback. Does well to catch that over his shoulder to keep that from being a disaster play. He'll lose a yard on the stop as he was tackled by Noah Farley, one of the linebackers, and a couple of others for Meadowbrook. 2nd and 6, and that could have been a first play from scrimmage disaster.
Yeah, single high safety for Meadowbrook, and then just the one corner press with the one guy out for Riverview. So obviously they're not going to disguise what they do offensively. They're going to try and run the ball right up between the tackles.
Wingbacks are Wyatt Weiss, number 15, and Brody Buxton, number 7. And they'll give it off on the end around. That will be Buxton, I believe.
That's going to be good enough for a first down.
Yes, he's
good
got
run.
it. WB Green Insurance first down for Riverview and a gain of close to 8 up to the 40.
Well, that time they ran that wing around that counter, and Meadowbrook on the right side defensively just a little bit gave up some of their gap integrity kind of thing, where they just the end just stood and really didn't try to plug that hole. And a nice job by Buxton of getting the first down.
And I think we've got we have a penalty tacked onto this.
Well, no indication yet.
What is going on? Is that an incidental face mask?
Don't know.
I got to tell you, I'm not sure. Up ahead of the 45 anyway. Riverview first down and 10 on their first chain movement of the night. Again, it's Buxton.
Yeah, same play. Better job defensively by Meadowbrook. Outstanding work that time. Defensively, coming up for the Colts is Deshaun Mail.
So now Ethan Hetty, number 77, big D tackle, returns. And right now, Colton Snyder, a freshman, will get a breather on this play. The defense for the Colts up front, Zayden Yeagle, 52, Ethan Hetty, 77, Casey Clendenning, 75, and Deshaun Mail, number 13. Starting down 4 linemen there. Linebackers, number 12, Cooper McManaway, and number 5, Noah Farley on the outside. Will Smalley, 23, and Talon Cannon, 55 on the inside. Secondary we'll get to after this play. 2nd down and 9. They'll go from the I formation here. And the freshman Warrens hands it off. That is Buxton who fumbles it. Yes, it will be a fumble. And it's recovered by Meadowbrook. Cooper McManaway and company come up with it for the Colts, and an early turnover. And boy, that one just looked like it just came right off the sternum, right off the shoulder pads.
Yeah, just not a clean up. They ran that wing through, and at that time on the replay we'll see just not a clean handoff, and then the easy fumble recovery by the Colts.
Noah Farley, I believe, is the man who came up with the fumble recovery for Meadowbrook. So a turnover on downs with 8:36 to play in this opening quarter. Already an 8-0 lead for Meadowbrook, and a golden opportunity here at the Black Bear 38. A penalty flag comes in, and that will blow the play dead. Somebody lined up in the neutral zone or has moved early. This is a Black Bear D lineman that was in the neutral zone apparently. A 5-yard mark off again now against the defense, making it 1st and 5. From bad to worse so far for Riverview.
By the way, that's 5 penalties here in this first quarter.
Whew. Not the prettiest first quarter so far, and we're barely 3.5 minutes in it.
Well, Meadowbrook will shift out of the pistol into the single back look next to Huey.
And a deep throw left side. He's got him, and it's an over-the-shoulder catch and a touchdown for the Meadowbrook Colts. Nick Norman.
33 yards.
33 yards.
And the Colts right now rolling on all cylinders with a 14-0 lead on that touchdown throw from Justice Huey to Nick Norman.
Well, nothing fancy about that route. That's just a matter, okay, just run down the field, want a little go route there, and the secondary from Riverview came up on what they thought was going to be a running play and another try for 2 for the Colts.
Huey out of the pistol, fakes the handoff, throws it out wide open. Man on the right side is Jake Burris, and he has an easy 2-point conversion. And the Riverview defense completely discombobulated so far. And it is an early 16-0 lead, just 3 minutes, 33 seconds gone in this first quarter from Eugene Capers Field in Byesville. We'll step aside for a moment. We'll return with our Meadowbrook Colts football coverage on YRP TV and on WILE in a moment.
Myra Shearer? Myra who?
Hi, I'm Myra Shire, and I'm running to be the next judge of the Cambridge Municipal Court. No matter how you pronounce my last name, most people know me as Myra, a dedicated public servant. Myra, the assistant law director. Myra, a community volunteer with my husband Jeff. If elected judge, I promise that I will serve Guernsey County with honesty and integrity. I respectfully ask for your vote on November 7th.
Vote Myra in November for Municipal Court Judge. Paid for by Myra Shire for Judge.
Howard Twiggs, Dave Davidson back to Eugene Capers Field. The shadows now have engulfed the entire field. Still a gorgeous evening. You can't ask for better than this here tonight, weather-wise.
Yeah. And Cedar set to kick off again. He may get a sore leg by the end of the first half.
It's a short squib kick. It's going to be fielded around the 30 of Riverview, and a massive humanity shoves him backwards around the 34. And the Black Bear offense already down 16-0 early on in this first quarter. Will go to work once again from their own 32, 33. They're going to mark it there.
This is just going to be their 4th offensive play here. And they're going to have the football for the 3rd time.
And almost 2 of those 4 plays have been fumbles.
Yeah.
Quarterback Warrants was very lucky that the first play from scrimmage didn't spell disaster. Riverview right now just trying to right the ship here a bit. Out of the wing T pistol. Fake handoff. They're going to go with a counter. This will be Weiss, number 15 with the carry, and he's not got much room to work with there as the D-line for Meadowbrook, Casey Clendenning leading the charge. Clogged that up very quickly along with Talon Cannon, the linebacker. Maybe a gain of a half yard.
Meadowbrook with 9 guys within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. That's one of the things you can do defensively against the wing T. It's not a passing offense. You can really crowd the line of scrimmage. However, though, a good wing T offense team could just drive you crazy with the counters and the guys coming back through. But so far, Meadowbrook's played very well defensively.
And on the handoff on the end around left, it will be Brody Buxton, number 7 with the carry. Picks up a few as he turned it up inside. And again, this will be Deshaun Mail, defensive end with the tackle. We'll call it a gain of 2, well maybe 3, we'll be generous. Just ahead of the 37-yard line. Still a long 3rd and 6 coming.
Yeah, and not the passing formation that you would think. So it appears as though Riverview will probably keep it on the ground. They're going to stay with that same formation with just the one wide out, and then the wing T guys, they're outside of the tackles. The only guy out is Braden Abreu for the Bears.
3rd down, long 6. Wartz out of the pistol will give it on the counter on the second man through, and nowhere to go for Brody Buxton as he is going to be dropped for about a yard or 2 loss. He was swallowed up by a host of Meadowbrook Colts led by Cooper McManaway. 4th down and 8. And you would think it looks like punt time for Riverview, but looks like they're lining up to go.
They're going to go for it. I would be shocked. Okay, now they're going to settle back.
Punter will be Wyatt Weiss, number 15, only about 8 yards behind the line. A high snap, rugby style, and he's got nowhere to go. He's hit, fumbles it forward. It's recovered by Meadowbrook anyway at the 31-yard line. And coming up with the fumble recovery, Zayden Yago, I believe.
Well, I'm not sure what the design was on that. as you say, Dave, it was the rugby style, but I'm not sure that he hadn't thought about running, maybe.
Well, when you're only set up about 7 or 8 yards back behind the line of scrimmage, you don't have time to fool around with it if you're going to kick it.
No, and he was back there fooling around.
First down and 10, Meadowbrook. Quick hitter. There's McManaway running free into the secondary near another first down for the Colts. It will be good enough for the first down. A gain of 10 for Cooper McManaway, a WB Green Insurance first down.
Colts right back to it. This is their third possession, 2 touchdowns on the board.
Quick snap again. Justice Huey gives it again, McManaway. Straight dive up the middle as he runs over Black Bears at the 15 all the way to the 13. A gain of 9 more. Clock running at 5:40. First quarter, 16-0. Meadowbrook on top, and they are in the Black Bear danger zone again.
If there was any doubts about whether they wanted revenge from last year's loss at Riverview, I think it's being erased quickly here in this first quarter.
Huey out of the pistol, looking. Receiver got tied up a little bit. That was Landon Kuhn, the intended target, but he got hung up on a intended slant route, and it will sail incomplete, so it'll be third and about another long yard to go for Meadowbrook.
3 of 6, 79 yards, and the 2 touchdown passes for Huey in this first quarter.
1 for 26 and 1 for 33 yards so far for Justice Huey. Cooper McManaway is the running back out of the pistol behind the QB.
4 wide receivers on a 3rd and 1. Very interesting formation for Riverview.
Trips right and straight handoff around the right tackle. McManaway finds blockers, follows them to the 5, to the 4, and is stopped there on a 1st and goal play. And the tackle.
By going to the 4 wide receiver look, Meadowbrook spread Riverview out, and excellent run by McManaway. 3 carries, 25 yards here in this first quarter, and another first down for the Colts, 1st and goal.
Number 51 freshman Denham Darty with that stop for Riverview, but another WB Green Insurance first down as McManaway ringing up some big chunks of yardage here on this drive. Trips again short side right with a receiver left. McManaway is going to be stopped from behind. Good tackle by Darian Basankin, number 78, the big 265-pound defensive end. Stops that play for no gain. So one of the few bright spots for Riverview so far, trailing 16-0, but about to be scored on for the 3rd time.
Well, Nick Norman has single coverage on the wide side of the field on the left side for Meadowbrook. Wouldn't surprise me if they threw a slant or a little out for Norman. He's just got one guy to beat.
Isolated by junior Aiden Rodriguez out there. Quarterback keeper, everybody from Riverview's defense fooled there as Justice Huey trots it in from 4 yards out to give Meadowbrook their 3rd touchdown of this first quarter with 4:12 to play. A 22-0 advantage for the home squad.
Riverview had nobody on that right side of their defense. And Huey, that's just a read. He had the touchdown pass or the run. Now another try for 2 for the Colts.
And straight ahead. And I don't know. No, did not break the plane of the goal line, did McManaway on that carry. So Riverview stops him with that 2-point conversion run attempt by McManaway. He's about a foot short of the goal line. So the score remains Meadowbrook 22, Riverview nothing. 4:12 to play, opening quarter here in Byesville. As we'll step aside on WILE 97.7 and on YRP TV, we'll come back with more Colts football in just a moment.
Now located at 16050 McConnellsville Road in Caldwell, Ohio, Patrons Buckeye Mutual Insurance Company is a mutual insurance company established in 1896 for the purpose of providing insurance coverage to rural Ohio. They offer a product to meet your insurance need, whether it is for a farm, rental dwelling, home in town, secondary or seasonal dwelling, churches, or mobile home. They partner with Grinnell Mutual Insurance Company to offer liability coverage to package with their Patrons Buckeye Mutual policy. Call today at 638-3604 and follow them on Facebook at Patrons Buckeye.
Back on WILE and on YRP TV, Howard Twiggs, David Davidson From Byesville, 22-0 Colts here, Howard, and
Yep.
pretty much as we expected so far.
There's my man Brentley Cedor again. Kickoff. Guy's going to have a tired leg, I'm telling you.
It's already tired. It bounces at the 21, scooped up
Good
there.
run.
Good return back, about 17 yards up near the 38-yard line on that Valentine Insurance kickoff. Brought to you by Valentine Insurance, Southgate Parkway in Cambridge.
Now, when you look at Riverview, and again, there's no secret they're a struggling football team at 0-4 coming in. It doesn't appear as though they're going to change anything offensively. So what that's really doing is it's allowing Meadowbrook to play very simple football. And that is, hey, they're only giving us one look. We just need to be aware of the counters, those kinds of things. So really this is a great advantage for Meadowbrook. Now Riverview will flip the one wide receiver from the left side to the right side, but still Meadowbrook in the single look safety, and there's the one corner press on the right side now.
Yeah, the only variation they've given with that so far, Howard, the one play they ran it with I formation, 2 running backs was it. Otherwise, it's been wing T pistol, just like this set right now. Ball over on the right hash mark from the 37. And that is Wyatt Weiss, I believe.
Yes. Good run.
Scampering around the right side of the line. Probably their second best play from scrimmage on the night so far, a gain of 5.
Well, they have 13 yards rushing on 7 carries. So anything they can get in the neighborhood of 5 yards is amongst their best of the night.
So far, Meadowbrook scores 26-yard pass, Justice Huey to Landon Kuhn, 33-yard pass, Huey to Nick Norman, and a 4-yard quarterback, Justice Huey, scamper just a moment ago to make it 22-0, under 3.5 to go first quarter. Backs in the eye on this one here, and nowhere to go. I mean, he took the handoff, did Weiss, and he was met by 3 Colts, led by number 13, Mayo.
Yeah. They're going to give Weiss a generous spot of only a loss of 2.
Back to the 39-yard line, and it's really frustrating for a running back or a quarterback when you're just getting the snap of the ball. You have 0 time to think about what the next step is before you've got brown jerseys swarming you. Out of the pistol again is Wirtz, freshman QB. And McGuire Wirtz gives it off to the second man through on a counter. That's Weiss again, but again, the Meadowbrook Colts just swarming the interior line between the tackles, and that'll be another loss of a couple of yards for Weiss on that carry. 4th down and 10 now from the 37-yard line as we approach the 2-minute mark of the first quarter.
They've tested both sides of the line, has Riverview, and for Meadowbrook, both sides of the line are playing big boy football. Now another punting situation, I'm sure.
Well, I'm just hoping if they are going to set up in punting formation, they get the punt off this time.
Yeah,
for their sake.
And the play clock, I think it's down to 7 and running, so they'll be lucky to get the play off, and they're going to have to take a timeout. Yeah, they just couldn't get the play off for whatever reason, but clearly it was a punting situation. But when you see that play clock run down, you better call the timeout. Although, will you need that timeout later in the half? Probably not.
Probably not.
Go ahead and burn it now. What's 5 yards here and there anyway?
Why not? Our sponsors for tonight's game, Howard, Stoney's RV, Duncan and Cambridge, Valentine Insurance, Doan Ford People's Bank, Forsey Air Picks, Rotorua Rehab, Troy Blair with Dunning Motor Sales, Myra Shearer for Municipal Judge, Surgeon Construction, West 40 Auto Sales, Laborers Local 530, Patrons Buckeye Mutual Insurance, Bruner Land Company, Rogers Company, and Forsey Air Picks. Our many thanks to all of those folks. Brett Klein, our video director on YRP TV, along with Brock Valentine and Andrew Dunlap tonight.
Again, they're showing as though they're going to go for it on 4th down. Will they shift back into this punting formation?
Weiss right now, and number 7, Brody Buxton. Now they'll fill out Trips receivers over to the right side, and they're going to run a spread here with Trips receivers on 4th and 10. They will go for it. Wirtz throwing against his body. The lefty slings it out there to the 48-yard line, just out of the reach of his intended target, Brody Buxton, number 7. Would have been good enough for a first down. That wasn't a bad pass from the young freshman. throwing against his body. That's really a tough deal when you're rolling out right as a left-handed QB.
Yeah. Well, I think they take the time out to say, okay, let's just go for it. Let's take a shot.
Why not?
I
the question is why not? Not why, but why not?
I think, Dave, that could be our theme for the rest of this game. Why not? Why not?
Why not?
Why not? We're only down 22-0 in the first quarter. Why not?
A minute 45 to play first quarter. Meadowbrook back on to possession number 4. That's a swing pass out to Jake Burris. Burris down the near sideline, 25-20, and tripped up with a shoestring stop by defensive man J.D. Herron, the linebacker, to save a big gain and possibly a touchdown. Gain of 18.
What they're doing with Burris is that it's just a little outside screen, and he gets the other blocker out there, and Riverview spread out, so almost it's like a 2-on-1 situation. Timeout, as Dave mentioned, so it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Colts at the Riverview 18 with 1:35 to go here in the first.
And right now, Tom Wasecki really giving his team the business out there on that last defensive play, trying to, he's really in a tough spot. You're trying to coach, there's times you still got to be tough, and then there's times that you got to encourage these young men. You got to remember, all these guys on the field are still adolescents yet. They're under 18.
And
they're not college players or professionals.
No, and they're probably good students, so let's give them that, honestly.
4 receivers here for Huey, and the handoff will go to the back. That'll be Braden Black, sophomore, with his second carry of the night, I believe. Close to a first down yardage, just inside the 10, about a yard short of the first down.
Yeah, Black 2 carries, 17 yards, and I think Meadowbrook trying to put the 4 spot on the board here in this first.
And it'll be Black again. WB Green Insurance first down, and that will be a first down and goal now from the 4 after a gain of, we'll call it 6. And now sophomore Braden Black, number 4, will come to the sideline. He'll get a breather after doing some of the bulk of the rushing work. And now McManaway will return to the backfield now. Cooper McManaway probably to potentially punch this in and on this play. And they fake the run, and they throw it again. Second touchdown reception for number 18, Landon Kuhn. 4-yard TD pass from Justice Huey to Kuhn. 3 touchdown passes now for Huey. And a commanding 28-0 lead with under a minute to go in this opening quarter.
3 catches, 50 yards for Kuhn. Another try for 2 coming up at the 48-second mark, 28-0 in favor of the Colts. And by the way, Justice Huey, 3 touchdown passes in the first quarter.
Landon Kuhn to his right side, McManaway in the backfield behind him. And they will lead the way on a rollout and throwing and caught. And a beautiful catch, throw and catch for the Colts. And that'll be Bentley Cedar with the reception, the 5'11 freshman kicker with his 2-point conversion attempt reception. And we're already at 30-0, 48 seconds remaining in this opening quarter.
And my man Bentley Cedar gonna get another kickoff try. How many times has he kicked off now? This will be his 6th kickoff, am I correct?
Well, 5th. Should have been his 6th because we thought Riverview was going to receive it.
Right, okay. All right. So
but you're right, though. I mean, with your mind and mine, it was going to be his 6th kickoff now. But
right, so
nonetheless, a Valentine Insurance kickoff coming from Big 17 from the 40-yard line, 30-0. And we thought it might go this way here, but I didn't think it would be quite this easy.
It's Meadowbrook's done a lot of things right here in this first quarter. They've been very sharp. Let's give them credit. Let's not talk so much about the demise of Riverview. Let's give Meadowbrook some credit. They've come out fired up, and they've executed very well.
And Bentley Cedar with the kickoff, a short one that flies in the air. It's going to be fielded at the 28-yard line, and a shoulder pop at the 35-yard line, and a big collision between the Meadowbrook coverage team And the Riverview receiver, Hunter White, a sophomore, number 64, one of the up blockers with that. He gets about a 6-yard return. Riverview offense goes to work from the 34.
They have been held to 10 yards of total offense here in this first quarter, have the Bears.
And 1 turnover to boot. And I guess if you call the tackle,
right,
on the rugby pooch punt attempt, which we're not even sure if it was attempted, but if you want to call that a turnover on downs, really 2 turnovers. 1st and 10 Bears from the 34, down 30-0, out of the pistol wing tee. McGuire Wertz bumbled that snap, and it comes right back to the fullback, J.D. Herron, who's able to fall on, that's Brody Buxton, number 7, with the recovery, and that's still a loss of 5.
And with the play clock coming down, I think Riverview is going to have to run another play here in this first quarter. Play clock's at
20.
Well, no, they should
delayed
be able,
it. They delayed it nicely.
Yes, the officials did a nice job of setting that up so Riverview will not have to run a play to end this first quarter.
Game clock down to 10 seconds. They won't have to run one. I think head coach is going to tell them to chill out and hold on to it, and they'll do that. So we come to the end of the first quarter from Eugene Capers Field at Meadowbrook, 30-0. The Colts on top of the Black Bears. We'll step aside. Our scoreboard update coming here on YRP TV and on 97.7 WILE. Back in a moment.
Surgeon Construction is leading the way in commercial and industrial construction. This is Jason Emsch, and we are committed to providing exceptional construction experience from pre-construction through project completion. Our success is measured by exceeding our clients' expectations. See our past and previous projects at Cambridge YMCA and New Educational Center at Jurassic Park and FMJ Shooting Range, just to name a few. Find us online at surgeon.construction and like us on Facebook.
Surgeon Construction. We'll take it from here.
Stoney's RV Center is the place that makes buying a new RV easy. Ask about their on-site financing with very affordable payments, and they make on-site camper service calls to the area campgrounds. Stoney's RV also carries cargo trailers, car haulers, horse and stock trailers, and open utility trailers. They install hitch systems and fill propane tanks too. Stoney's RV Center, the place that takes camping to the next level, and a proud sponsor of our area high school sports teams.
Back on YRP TV and on WILE FM. Thanks for joining us. Howard Twiggs, Dave Davidson from Byesville. 30-0 lead for the Colts as we start quarter number 2. And another fumble exchange between quarterback and running back. The quarterback, McGuire Wertz, was able to fall on it. Again, they'll lose 5 more yards, and that is 2 times in a row now from scrimmage plays as the frustration mounts for Coach Tom Lasecki.
And I'm sure the players and fans, the faithful for Riverview who have traveled some distance to get here for this one. But now, I'm thinking, Dave, a passing situation here for Riverview, unless you're just going to say, hey, let's just run it and punt it. But, I think in this case, you try to throw the ball up in the air to get a first down when you're 3rd down and 20, you're probably asking for a pick 6.
Well, Buxton's 5-yard loss on the fumble, then Wertz, the quarterback, charged with a 5-yard loss, and now flags will come in before the start of the play.
Play clock.
5 more yards backward. We'll take a look here at our Clark Family Practice scoreboard here, Howard. Some other games going on in the area.
Big one in Tri-Valley. Tri-Valley Scotties lead New Lex 7-0. Maysville over Crooksville 17-0. Also Ridgewood Tusky Catholic scoreless. Steubenville over Dover 14-0. West Muskingum Philo in another good battle. The Electrics on top 7-0.
Philo wasn't defeated going into that one too.
And a couple of others looking good. John Glenn Sheridan up 7-0. That is in the second quarter from Thornville. And
Bishop Rosecrans, 14-all with Grove City Christian.
Yep, and Morgan handling Coshocton at this point, 21-7. There's a good game, too. Indian Valley and St. Clairsville. They're scoreless.
That's first quarter there. Martins Ferry and Newcomerstown, 14-all. Boy, that's a matchup. I'll bet those two schools have not met each other very many times, if at all.
Keeper.
And Wentz on third and a parking lot will carry it straight ahead for a gain of 2, just ahead of the 20, up near the 21. Just trying to avert disaster. And the Bears look like they will punt it away shortly.
Fort Fry scoreless with Warren also in the second quarter, so some things starting to unfold here. Trail and Claymont 7-7. That's another good matchup. Shenandoah scoreless with Rootstown. Boy, that's a trip up to Ravenna.
Where is Rootstown?
That is near Ravenna.
Quick snap back.
Where's it again?
To Weiss. Weiss on a rugby style. He's going to try to punt it. He's going to be tackled before he can get it away. I think that's Deshaun Mail with the recovery for Meadowbrook, and it's going to be stopped at the 10-yard line of the Bears.
You know, let's be fair, but let's at the same time be a little bit constructive, I hope, with our criticism. Just punt the ball, son. Yeah, that's 2 times in a row that he's tried to stretch the defense somehow with that rugby-style kick. It hasn't worked either time. Just get back there and punt the football.
Well, from bad to worse now for the visitors. They're going to mark the ball. Meadowbrook will take over with, obviously, its best field position of the night at the Riverview 10.
I mean, honestly, let's not dwell on it, but that's not a why not. That's a why did you.
Is did you one word?
It is tonight.
D-I-D-G-A-A.
A little hyphen over the A, did you?
Colts looking for more now, giving the ball at the 10-yard line after the punt attempt. And handoff to Black straight through the line, hit at the 4, spun at the 2, down to the 1. And is going to be stopped just short of the goal line with a gain of 9.
And Braden Black, 4 carries, 29 yards. He's joined by Cooper McManaway, 4 carries for 26 yards.
And Meadowbrook working quickly again against this dejected Riverview bunch. And Black will carry it off the left side of the line, and he's in for a 1-yard touchdown plunge to make it 36-0. 9:49 to play in this first half. Another Colt touchdown. Second one on the ground of this first half. Huey with the other rushing touchdown, and this time it's Braden Black with a 1-yard plunge. Riverview had a late comer coming up, the 11th player coming onto the field before they even snapped the ball. I'm not sure what the confusion was there, or else they ran out a 12th player.
Would it matter?
Well, it didn't there.
No, but no flag. Some discussion between the officials and Coach Lasecchio there on the sideline for the Bears. Now we'll get it back to it.
Meadowbrook for 2 out of the pistol. Huey rolls left, looks, throws, corner of the end zone, and on his knees makes the catch, open in the end zone. Nick Norman. Another 2-point conversion play is good. And the Colts are now 4 out of 5 on 2-point attempts. 38-0 over Riverview. 9:49 still to go in this second quarter. We'll step aside on WILE FM 97.7 and on YRP TV. Our Colts football coverage of week number 5 continues.
I'm not buying till I check down for.
Most of us are faced with uncertainty every day. Your job, your finances, sporting events, schooling for your children, and so much more. With so much uncertainty surrounding you, there's one auto dealership that you can be certain about, and that's Doan Ford. You can be certain that you'll always get a great deal and the best service afterwards. In business for nearly 60 years has given Doan Ford the reputation of being a strong, reliable dealership. Be certain. Choose Doan Ford. Online at doanford.com.
Howard Twiggs, Dave Davidson back to Eugene Capers Field in Byesville, 38-0 Meadowbrook.
You know, Dave, if we get just a second waiting for our man Cito's kick, Meadowbrook, I'm sure, remembers last year some of the scores they gave up down the stretch of the season, 54, 57, 59, 55. So they had their share of grief last year, and it's probably nice for the Colts to be on the other side, I think.
This Valentine Insurance kickoff fielded by Hunter White again, the sophomore, one of the up blockers. Going to be mauled at the 35-yard line after a few yards return. Riverview offense takes over first down and 10.
But to come back to some of the scores that Meadowbrook suffered through that 1-9 campaign last year and to have turned around the way they have under Coach Norman this year is just a remarkable lesson in progress and staying with the program. So, again, a lesser opponent certainly with Riverview, but Meadowbrook shaping up to have a very nice season.
Out of the wing T pistol, McGuire Wentz gives it off to the wingback coming around the left end. That is Brody Buxton. Gets a couple of positive yardage. Gain of 2.
Going to be holding against Riverview, I think.
Oh, boy. Way back there in the backfield, too, around the 28. So if this... Oh, please give them a break. Pick up the flag.
Well, there are only 2 guys back there behind the play with Buxton. So, and your guys had the ball, so I'm guessing it's on you.
Oof. And what's worse is the flag is 7 yards behind the line. This is going to be a 17-yard penalty.
And you're an official, so I don't want to speak too loudly. You might beat me up, but
I doubt it.
Seriously, do you really need to call that one?
Yeah.
Honest to goodness.
Yeah.
It was.
They have marked it back to the 25-yard line, so they've marked it back from the line of scrimmage. So they must have had a couple of opportunities.
It was behind the play. Somebody was blocking while Buxton was headed to the line of scrimmage, so they're holding whatever.
First down 20. Wing T pistol. Whoa, look out. That snap is behind McGuire.
It's a live ball?
Well, I think they're going to say that the quarterback had possession of the ball momentarily. His knee was down when he stopped the ball on the turf. I think probably a bit of mercy shown right there to Riverview, and they're going to mark it at the 11-yard line where the quarterback's knee was down, I think.
Okay.
So that, my friend, is another loss of about 14 more on the snap from center to quarterback, and that's 2 or 3 issues that junior Conley Weber and quarterback McGuire Wirtz have had tonight. Clock running near 9:15 to go first half. 38-0 Meadowbrook has dominated from the opening kick. Handoff straight ahead. I believe that's Heron.
Well, if that's Heron, it's not Boom Heron.
Yes.
Yep, J.D.
Fullback
Heron.
J.D. Heron.
His first carry of the night. Give him a couple.
Just short of the 24. Still third and a kilometer for Riverview, about 31 yards. Riverview trying to use all of the play clock that they possibly can. Wing T again on third and a lot. And the handoff again, this will be Heron, who is swallowed up right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, up just short of the 14-yard line. And Landon Talon Cannon was there along with a host of other Colts.
Yeah, Clendenning was in on the tackle that time too. And somebody's going to take a timeout here, I think, to set up the punting situation.
Bears call timeout. So their final timeout of the half.
And why not? So my question then is, you're 4th and 32, and you take the timeout. What do you think they're drawing up?
Maybe the step-by-step process of kicking the football, perhaps.
I'm going to tell you what they're setting up. Coach is in the huddle right now. They're on the field. He's saying, listen, guys, just punt the football away. No games, no tricks. Get the snap, punt the football.
All right, I'm going to hold you to that. We'll see if they listen to Coach Twiggs.
If they do, then they've got more problems than an 0-4 record if they start listening to me. Unless they're going to go for it, which I can't think that they would you?
Well,
why not?
They will not. They will send Wyatt Weiss back in punting formation, but still only about 9 yards behind the line.
He's going to try that rugby
they run
punt
it again.
What's he
He's
doing?
Under some heavy pressure.
I just don't get that.
Well, I'm guessing at this point they do not have a snapper that is able to get the ball 12 to 13 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, just catch it and punt
Yeah,
it.
and now granted, that time there was not a lot of time before he had a Colt bearing down on him the moment he caught the ball.
Okay, but even if you get a 10-yard punt, that's better than a 5-yard loss because now it's 1st and goal at the 4-yard line. Punt the football.
8:07, second quarter. Meadowbrook now with the shortest of fields. They started the last drive at the Riverview 10. They'll better that by 6 yards here as they give it to Cooper McManaway, and McManaway has a touchdown. And a 4-yard score for McManaway gives the Colts a 44-0 advantage with just a tick over 8 minutes to go yet in this first half.
And Riverview had the ball less than a minute, about a minute and 5 before Meadowbrook got it back at the 4-yard line and on the first play scores. Now, they're going to try an extra point, are the Colts. Hey.
And the hold was there by Huey, and it was a pretty good jailbreak inside. It was J.D. Heron who got, number 29, got his mitts in on the block.
All right. Well, you know what? That's good for Meadowbrook is that, you got to try stuff like that. And this is the perfect opportunity to do that because it tells you that, okay, we may not be trying extra points here if we need them down the road. We're certainly not going to need them tonight, but, that's giving them a better idea that they may stay with 2-point conversions the rest of the way. So they'll be able to build into that some of the other things that they do after scores.
44-0 Meadowbrook over Riverview. We will keep it here for the moment. Our video crew on YRP TV, Brett Klein, video director, with our camera guys, Brock Valentine and Andrew Dunlap. Thanks a lot, guys. Good job out there. Our Clark Family Practice scoreboard here from some other games here. Howard, let's get some more updates.
Tri-Valley now 14-0 over New Lex. Maysville leading Crooksville 17-0. Beaver Local over Union Local 27-12. Here's the kickoff. We'll give you more in a second. 14-0 Steubenville over Dover.
Valentine Insurance on Southgate Parkway. Kickoff sponsor. Fielded by Riverview around the 22. And that'll be Braden Abreu with the return up to the 32-yard line. A return of about 9 yards for the Black Bears.
Tornadoes of West Muskingum on top of Philo 7-0. Sheridan remains 7-0 over John Glenn. Ridgewood all over Tuskegee Catholic 35-0. And
that's a first quarter
more.
score
Rosecrans
too.
And Grove City Christian 21 each. Morgan on top of Coshocton now 21-14. So the Redskins have scored. St. Clairsville over Indian Valley. It's early there, first quarter 6-0. And Monroe Central over Buckeye Local 15-0. One more, Newcomerstown over Martins Ferry 17-14.
And the carry straight ahead. That is the Black Bears. Is that Buxton? Yes, Brody Buxton again. Not able to get back to the line. A loss of a couple back to the 30. Still the first team defense out there for Meadowbrook right now for the most part.
Yeah, I think they'll probably play the first half, and then in the second half there'll be subs here, there, and finally everywhere down the stretch in a mid to the last part of the last quarter. Although we would anticipate a running clock in the second half.
Wing T pistol, handoff. J.D. Heron, the fullback, carries a couple of Colt tacklers with him up past the 35 to the 37.
Best run of the night.
7 yards for J.D. Heron, 200-pound fullback. A little gimpy coming up off it, got tackled around the ankles. Third down, a makeable short 5. I think just one first down in the game so far for Riverview tonight. That came on, I think, drive number 2.
And they have not gone past the midfield stripe.
Again, the wing T for Riverview with one wide out, Abreu out to the left side. That snap was right off the shoulder pads of the quarterback. That snap had a lot of pepper on it, and it's going to be recovered by the Meadowbrook Colts. Defensive back Cohen Miles.
Yep.
50,
Absolutely.
50 worth $134.
Turnover number 2, possibly 3, depending on the errant punt a few possessions ago. But whatever, the Colts are going to get it right back with plenty of time here in the second quarter. It's 6:25 to go, and they have not been stopped to this point. Yeah, Riverview, the least amount of points they've given up this year is 40. That was to a 2-2 Tuslaw team. So 46 to Philo, 57 to Ridgewood, and 52 to Morgan.
Out of the pistol, 4 wide receivers. That is runner Landon Kuhn, and he is on his way to another WB Green Insurance first down inside the danger zone at the 15-yard line. Another run of double digits for a Meadowbrook Colt running back.
I think that was Dalen Rivera on the run, by the way.
You're right. And Burris on this quick hitch out to the left sideline, tackled by Abreu. And Burris will get to about the 8. Gain of 6 on that quick pass from Huey to Burris.
6 of 9 for Huey in this first half, 108 yards. It seems like 1,008, doesn't it? Just 100.
Sure does. Here is Dalen Rivera on the handoff. Starts right, cuts back to the middle, inside the 2 to the 1. Is he in? Yes, he is. Touchdown. 8-yard touchdown run for the Colts, Dalen Rivera, to make it 50-0. Just past the halfway point of this second quarter.
Well, let's see if they set up that extra point again or they go back and go for the 2. I think they're going to go for the 2. They've got, nope, they're going to try the extra point again.
Give this a shot again.
Yeah, why not? Is this our man, Cedar?
Yep, Bentley Cedar, the left footer.
Why not?
And Huey, a good snap, a good hold this time. And this time the ball was hit on the top side. Looked a little bit like a potential drive off the number 2 tee box for me.
Or if this were soccer, that'd be right at the top of the net. It was straight, but just below the crossbar. I think a penalty is going to go against Riverview. They're going to get another one, or a penalty against somebody. No flag, but somebody's going to get knocked 5 yards. I don't know. I think the officials tonight, they're calling penalties, but they're not dropping flags. All right.
They're saying running into the kicker.
Running into the kicker.
So this will give Meadowbrook one more practice opportunity here yet.
Well, you know, the one thing about Bentley is his legs warmed up.
I wonder if he's ambidextrous. Can he kick with either foot? He's going to stick with his left foot this time.
I think he gets this one.
Huey, the holder. Good snap, good hold. You called it. Woohoo! He's got it. Bentley Senior jumping up and down like he just won the league championship with that kick. 51-0 Meadowbrook over Riverview. We'll step aside here for a few moments. Our Meadowbrook Colts football coverage returns on WILE and on YRP TV in a moment.
Your home and your car are likely your 2 biggest investments. Protecting them from unexpected damage is a prime concern to WB Green Insurance. They are proud to represent Westfield Insurance, a financial service organization that provides insurance products for your home, auto, and business. Sharing knowledge, building trust is Westfield Insurance's pledge to their customers, along with personalized claim service that's fast and friendly. To learn how Westfield can help with your insurance needs, talk to WB Green Insurance today.
You know, Dave, here's the deal, is now our man Bentley Sutter gets to kick off again.
He's sticking with the left foot for right now. Yeah. Another Valentine Insurance kickoff from Southgate Parkway.
7 touchdowns for the Colts here in the first half.
Gets under this one, a little bit of air. That's going to be bobbled at the 33. It'll again for the 3rd straight time be fielded by Hunter White. Number 64, the sophomore, covers it up around the 35. Riverview offense goes to work with just over 5.5 minutes remaining second quarter in a 51-0 Colt lead.
3 yards of total offense for Riverview, 0 passing. They've just attempted just the one pass, so everything else has been on the ground for Riverview. And poor McGuire Warrants, the quarterback, he's responsible for some of those sideline warnings going to go against Meadowbrook, but he's responsible for those errant snaps and the sacks and all that, so he's minus 17 yards rushing is Wertz.
Sponsors for tonight's game: Surgeon Construction, Rogers Company, Retterer Rehab, Patrons Buckeye Mutual, Labor's Local 530, WB Green Insurance, and West 40 Auto Sales. Wing T set for Riverview. Down 51-0, and the wingman Buxton comes around the left end. Got some daylight, biggest offensive play of the night, and the second WB Green Insurance first down for the Black Bears as Buxton busts loose for a double-digit gain of about 14 yards at the 49-yard line of Riverview.
Yeah, the Riverview caught a little bit of a break there because he was actually in motion. He was going sideways as that play was developing. So, hey, no flag. Good job for Riverview. Got the first down. Stepped out of bounds near midfield, but the first down anyway.
Again, first down and 10 at the 49-yard line. Wing T set for Riverview. And Meadowbrook, they encroached into the neutral zone there as they were bringing another motion man again, and that will be Casey Clendenning coming off the field this time.
Yeah, I think Meadowbrook's,
the guilty party.
Yeah, at the point now where I think they're going to start to sprinkle in a few subs here and there. I mean, they're not going to have wholesale substitutions, but a couple of second teamers are going to start to play.
Is that do we give 4-yard penalties now for offside?
Well, tonight we do.
That's at the wrong yard line, but that's
Sure
okay,
is.
I guess.
It was a 4-yard mark-off for the neutral zone.
This will be Wyatt Weiss, his knee touchdown at the 49. That'll be a loss of a couple. We've seen a little bit of everything in this game, haven't we?
Yep, Trevon Gray on the stop that time and the loss of a couple.
Second down, 8 coming up. Clock running at 4:20. Meadowbrook in command. And in just a little while from now, they will get victory number 4 out of 5 games this season, leading at 51-0 right now.
And then the big one next week with, to this point, undefeated John Glenn, although they are trailing against Sheridan.
That game being played up in Thornville tonight, a pair of 4-0 teams going at it. High snap, and Wertz brings it down. A little miscommunication with receiver Braden Abreu around the 34 of Meadowbrook, incomplete.
Substitution now for the Colts. It's going to be Clendenning coming back in, and Ethan Heedy, the 6'1", 270-pounder, coming back out.
Third down, 8. This second half, by the way, will have incomplete passes and all that stuff. The clock will run during all of that, except for change of possessions, basically, and scoring plays. 3rd and 8 here from the Colt 49. And with a couple of tight ends, play action fake for Wertz, and his receiver got tied up around the 37-yard line. He was looking for Wyatt Weiss over the top, and he and McManaway got tangled up there. Looked like maybe McManaway might be called for an interference play there, but no go.
Actually, a good read that time by Meadowbrook. Good coverage. And now the 4th down. So the big question is will they punt the football or will they go for it? Looks like they're going to try and go for it.
Well, at this point, I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say they're not kicking it, whether they line up in punt formation or not.
Whether it's 4th and 38 or 4th and 4, they're not going to punt it anymore.
They haven't punted it before.
Stop it.
We thought they were.
Cut it out, man. I mean it.
Howard Twigg, special teams coach. Snap back to McGuire Wertz. The ball's deflected, nearly caught on the deflection for a first down at the 40. Abreu was back there, nearly caught it on the volleyball tip, but it's incomplete.
Is that Burris on the coverage or Mayon? On that coverage that time as Noah Farley, pardon me.
Yeah, Farley.
Noah Farley almost had the pick 6. 0 of 4 passing now for McGuire Wertz.
Colts take over on downs from their own 49-yard line. And right now, still first team offense out there for Meadowbrook. We're expecting pretty much a JV game for the most part in the second half. Colts up 51-0, just over 3.5 to go in the first half. And handoff, this will be Braden Black, another WB Green Insurance first down into the Riverview secondary inside the 35 and stopped at the 32. Tackled by Carson Russell, the safety, number 25.
I think Meadowbrook has all 3 of their timeouts left, by the way. I see no reason why they won't tack on another touchdown. They're using their timeouts if they don't score bang bang. So we very well could see 58, 59 to nothing at the break. Ouch.
And obviously the offensive set here being told to use all of that play clock. They're running it down. It's down at 10 seconds right now.
Well, they better hustle up because it's at 5. I'm not sure.
And they'll snap it with 2. And the handoff, no, faked handoff. They'll throw it out to Burris, dumps it in the left flat, caught and rumbled to the 30, maybe the 29 or so before he's stays inbounds. Tackled by Abreu and by the corner man, number 33, Aiden Rodriguez. It's a gain of, what do we say, 6. We'll mark him at the 28.
3 catches, 30 yards for Burris there in this first half. Also 3 catches for Landon Kuhn and 1 catch for Nick Norman.
Well, Huey, you'll bear this out in the statistics at halftime here. Huey has really spread the ball around to everybody.
Yeah. Again, you know, we made the point earlier, he's just 7 of 10 for 113 yards, but he hasn't had to throw long. They're getting yards after the catch.
And another handoff, Braden Black. WB Green Insurance first down for the Colts, just short of the 20. And a gain of 8 more for Braden Black, the sophomore runner, number 4.
7 carries, 58 yards for Black.
Clock running under 2 minutes to go first half. Colts in command, 51-0. A 3-1 record coming into this one. And I guess we could say a tune-up game before facing the Little Muskies in New Concord on homecoming night next week.
Well, play clock continues to work its way down, and last time they got to the line of scrimmage literally at about 3 seconds on the play clock. They're going to be in the same situation. Meadowbrook going to be a little bit careful.
Just get it off in time. Again, Braden Black the handoff. And another run right up the gut. Tackled by Denham Doherty, a freshman, number 51, but not until Black picks up another 8 more yards. Just past the 13. Clock running now, game clock at 1 minute to go in this first half.
Well, you know, they're running the play clock down. They're looking over the sideline just waiting for the instructions from the coach and staff, but they're not doing anything extravagant. They're just saying, okay, we're running the play clock down. We're going to run it between the tackles.
Justice Huey will direct traffic with 8 seconds on the play clock. Game clock at 35. 4 wide receivers for Huey. And he'll take a knee down there at the 17-yard line. And a good show of sportsmanship by Steve Norman here in the Colts as they will take the knee. And they'll run out this remaining 20 seconds of this first half. Nice show of sportsmanship there by the Meadowbrook coaching staff. 51-0 your halftime score here from Eugene Capers Field in Byesville. Obviously a game that we thought would be dominated possibly by Meadowbrook, but really, I mean, what has been possible to go wrong for Riverview has certainly done just that.
You know, I don't know where you'd want to start for Riverview. I mean, obviously, Meadowbrook, you know, this is going to sound really kind of dumb, but, you know, Meadowbrook, I don't think is going to go into the locker room thinking, hey, this is over, you know, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. You know, they still need to come out in the second half and play football, because if you don't, bad things happen. People get injured, you know, dumb plays occur. this, that, and the other. So, Meadowbrook's going to have to come out at least somewhat sharp in this second half. For Riverview, it's a long trip to their locker room here at this facility, and just about the time they get there, they're probably going to have to work their way back in. But I don't know if you're Riverview, Dave, what you start on first, special teams or blocking. In my mind, the two things that I think have hurt Riverview the most in this first half is they're down 51-0. Is I think the special teams, that they haven't been able to punt the football to change some of the field position, number one. Number two is they just had no blocking on the line of scrimmage. So, and then, if you want to talk about defensive miscues, that's fine. But I think starting with the offense, those two things I just think have to be addressed here at halftime.
Just 2 first downs for Riverview in that first half. Only really 3 or 4 real positive yardage plays for the Black Bears as they struggle. Now they'll go to the Battle of the Bands here at halftime, Riverview and Meadowbrook, as the Black Bear Marching Band takes the field here in the moment. We'll step aside for just a little while. Ohio News Network halftime feature coming up for those of you on our 97.7 FM side. YRP TV viewers, you'll be watching some of these other messages we'll send across to you here at halftime. We have our scoreboard update coming to the WILE studio, and our halftime report sponsored tonight by Laborers Local 530 here on WILE FM 97.7. We'll return with that and more on YRP TV. Howard Twiggs will have the stats later on in halftime. 51-0 Colts over the Black Bears here at halftime.
Unveil a new perspective with Forsey Air Picks. Their FAA-certified drone pilot captures breathtaking shots that elevate your moments. From dreamy weddings to stunning landscapes, real estate wonders to towering constructions or home inspection pictures, they've got it covered. Let them soar to new heights for you because they get the pictures you can't reach. Call 581-0919 and see your world from above with Forsey Air Picks.
From the Ohio News Network, this is the Ohio Education Association Tonight in High School Football. Named Best Sports Program in the Country by the National Association of State Radio Networks. Tonight in High School Football is presented by Beck's Hybrids. Now here's your host, Skip Mossick.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Tonight in High School Football's Halftime Report. This evening we'll talk a little Ohio Valley High School football with Joey Klapek, who's covered high school football in that area of the state for years. Joey joins us next on the Ohio News Network.
Every farmer has their reason for why they do what they do. For Beck's, it's faith, family, and farming. Since 1937, the Beck family and family of employees have been committed to honoring God and helping farmers succeed. Farming is full of extremes, and we face the challenges with hard work and steadfast determination, delivering quality line of products backed by legendary customer service. We look forward to standing by your side, supporting you as you live out the life you were meant to live. Beck's, when it comes to farming, we believe in something more.
I'm Ohio Education Association President Scott DeMauro, and on behalf of the OEA's 120,000 members, we're proud to bring you tonight's game. Our members are the public school educators who coach your kids on and off the field because we believe in the potential of every student and their right to a high-quality public education, no exceptions. That's why we will continue to speak in one voice to demand the supports and resources our public schools need because public education matters.
This is Tonight in High School Football on the Ohio News Network. Once again, here's Skip Mossick.
We are presented by Beck's Hybrids. At Beck's, they are and will remain farmers at heart. And welcome back, everyone. Halftime of your game. We're joined this evening by Joey Klapek from our Steubenville affiliate, 106.3 The River, who's called high school football in the Ohio Valley for years. And Joey, as we hit the midway point of the season, let me ask you about a couple of your area teams. We'll begin with the school that you primarily cover, and that's Steubenville. After dropping their opener to a really good Ursuline team, the Big Red have bounced back and run off 3 in a row. Not that anybody wants to lose, but did that week 1 setback kind of jumpstart things a little bit?
I think so. And if you look at that game, I mean, Ursuline is 4-0 right now. And if you look at that game, Big Red got down early because they made some mistakes that we're not really used to seeing Big Red make, but they fought through, battled back, and even fought through a 90-minute weather delay and came back and only lost that game by a few points. Steubenville Big Red, they're the kind of team, Skip, that everybody likes to watch. They're the team that I always said they're fun to watch. They play very physical. They play very hard. They're well coached. And I ask Coach Reno all the time, how do you get those kids to play that hard for you? And one of the things he always tells me is that, this group of seniors or this group of Big Red players, they don't want to be the group that lets the community down or lets the school down. They know there's an expectation when it comes to kids who wear the crimson and black, and they want to be just as good as the teams that came before them.
Also there in Division 4, a team that continues to have pretty good success there is St. Clairsville.
Yeah, St. Clairsville. Coach Brett McLean has done a fantastic job in the, 21 years that he has been at St. C. He did a good job of getting those kids' confidence level back. He got the kids interested again in St. Clairsville football. They're 3-1. Their only loss came to a 4-0 Canton South team by 2 points, 42-40. And that's just a program that is on the rise, and it has been on the rise since he got there. Another school that takes advantage of the players they have. He builds his system around the personnel, and that's, as you know, Skip, that's always great for a head coach to do that. Don't expect kids to change to your system. We'll develop the offense and the defense around the skill set, and that's what he does.
A couple of other area schools off to good starts. I know they had a great season a year ago, but in D5, Richmond Edison is 4-0.
Yeah, Coach Mike Colopy, he is just a great guy. He's been the baseball coach at Edison High School for a number of years, and the head coaching job at football came open, and he's done a nice job of getting that program turned around. And last year, there was their first 10-0 season ever. The community was sky high, and obviously got a pretty tough draw in round one of the playoffs with Youngstown Cardinal Mooney, but I think they learned a lot from that opening round playoff loss. They're developing a little tougher attitude, and they're playing well. They're playing really well. They had to replace a 4-year starter quarterback, but the young man they have now, Henderson young man, is doing a great job. He's a great passer, good vision. So yeah, keep an eye on Edison. You're going to hear great things from them as well.
A couple of area Division 7 schools off to good starts. Steubenville Catholic Central's a perfect 4-0, and don't forget about Toronto off to a nice 3-1 start.
Steubenville Catholic Central, everybody loves to root for the Crusaders. They had a few down years. They hired a new coach, Eric Meek, who has been a coach in the Ohio Valley probably close to 30 years, and wherever he goes, he wins. He won at Wellsville. He was at Toronto. He won there. He won a state championship across the river in Weirton, West Virginia, with Weir High a few years ago. And the AD from Steubenville Catholic Central called him a couple of years ago, and he was ready to get back into coaching. He was actually in the broadcast booth with us for a few years, and he has brought that attitude, that aggressive attitude, back to Steubenville Catholic Central. 4-0 starts in Coach Meek's second season. And Toronto, on the other hand, 3-1. Their only loss came to a really, really talented Weir High team from Weirton, West Virginia. They started the season with the junior quarterback, Zeb Kenzie, being recruited by West Virginia as a quarterback, only a junior, and also being recruited by Oklahoma State as a linebacker. Unfortunately, he suffered an injury a couple of weeks ago, and he will be out for the season. Hopefully he'll be back next year. But Toronto is another one of those teams, Ohio Valley tough kids, mill worker kids, and Toronto is another squad that they're not afraid to hit you, and they'll do well this year as well.
Joey Claypeck, we always love talking Ohio Valley High School football with you. Appreciate your time, okay?
All right, buddy, thanks.
And we'll be back on the Ohio News Network.
Bex recognizes this week's player with heart, Morgan Hall from Joseph Badger High School, for her commitment and passion on the field and within the farming community.
It's a really fun team, especially this year with our coaches and all the players. We all get along really well. It's my favorite sport. The competitiveness of it and the environment that especially home games create makes it really exciting.
Morgan loves volleyball, but she also enjoys helping out in the community.
I help my Nana up at the township park. She's one of the clerks for the township, and she waters all the flowers and stuff. And I go up there, help her pick up the park, water flowers.
Her family has instilled in her a love of farming.
Being at the farm, it's peaceful to me. It's get away from everything, sports, school, everything. It's just a place I can be myself and be calm and relaxed.
At Bex, we are and will remain farmers at heart.
This is ONN.
Our thanks again to Joey Claypeck from our Steubenville affiliate for talking some Ohio Valley High School football with us this evening. Enjoy the second half of your ball game. I'm Skip Mossick on the Ohio News Network.
This has been the Ohio Education Association Tonight in High School Football. Presented by Beck's Hybrids from the Ohio News Network.
97.7 on your FM dial. We're WILE-FM, Byesville, Cambridge.
Hey, welcome back, everyone, to Byesville, the home of the Meadowbrook Colts. Dave Davidson and Howard Twiggs, glad to be a part of your football evening, week number 5. And tonight, the Meadowbrook Colts are handling the Riverview Bears at the break, 51-0. And it's been all Meadowbrook, as you can well imagine by that score. You're listening to the halftime report brought to you by Laborers Local 530. And while we have a moment or so, we're going to go into some of our numbers for the first half. First, for the Meadowbrook Colts, they had 17 rushes of the football for 137 yards. They were led by Braden Black with 8 carries for 66. Cooper McManaway had 5 carries for 30. Dylan Rivera, 2 totes for 24. Justice Huey, who also is their quarterback, had 2 carries for 17 yards, 137 yards on the ground for the Colts. No turnovers for Meadowbrook. Through the air, 7 of 10 for Huey for 113 yards. He was led by Jacob Burris, 3 catches for 30 yards. Landon Kuhn, 3 catches for 50 yards. Nick Norman, the big bomb, for 33 yards, which incidentally was a touchdown pass. 5 penalties, 25 yards for the Colts. It adds up to 250 yards of total offense. That doesn't sound like a lot of total offense yards, and that's just because of field position. Riverview had an inability to punt the football in the first half, and that gave outstanding field position to the Colts. I think there were at least 3 drives where they were inside Riverview's 10-yard line by way of the special teams for the Bears. Okay, let's take a look at the Bears of Riverview. 20 carries of the football for 15 yards. No passes completed, 0 of 4 for the quarterback, Wertz. They did turn it over twice and were penalized 5 times for 30 yards. Wyatt Weiss on the ground, 5 carries for a yard. Quarterback Wertz had 5 carries for -17. A couple of carries for J.D. Heron, the fullback. He had 7 yards. And the leading ground game on the night for the Bears was Brody Buxton. He had 8 carries for 24 yards. Scoring-wise in the first half, Meadowbrook got on the board quickly at the 10-19 mark of the first quarter as Justice Huey hit Landon Kuhn for a 26-yard pass, and the Huey ran for the 2, and it was 8-0. Meadowbrook quickly and right away. The Colts came right back at the 8:27 mark. Huey hit Nick Norman on a 33-yard pass, and Huey to Burris for 2. It was 16-0. And then again in the first quarter, Huey on a 4-yard run. The try for 2 was no good. But at that point, it was 22-0, and the game was certainly out of reach for Riverview. And then another touchdown in the first quarter as Huey had a 4-yard pass to Kuhn, his second of the night. The pass to Cedar was good for 2, and at the break, the Colts were in well command. In the second quarter, at the 9:10 mark, Braden Black had a 1-yard run. Norman had the pass from Huey for the 2. Later on in that second quarter, Cooper McManaway had a 4-yard run. The extra point try was no good. And at that point, it was 44-0. And then rounding out the scoring in the second period, Dylan Rivera had an 8-yard run. And then our man, Brentley Cedar, kicked the extra point. And at the break, it's 51-0 in favor of Meadowbrook. And it's a lot for the Colts and a little for the Bears at this point. So we will step aside for just 1 minute or so. When we come back, we'll have more halftime activities. Again, the score at the break is Meadowbrook 51. You're listening to the Laborers Local 530 halftime report. So Meadowbrook on top of Riverview by the score of 51-0. We'll take a break for just a minute or so. We'll come back. We'll have plenty more at the half. So stick around. You're listening to high school football.
In your time of need, will you be happy with your cut-rate car insurance? Will you have the coverages you need? Valentine Insurance is dedicated to protecting you and your family when you need it. As an independent insurance agency, we have partnered with many reputable insurance companies who even have local claims adjusters to provide you with unbeatable service. Are you going to trust a talking lizard to help you with your claim? Really? Don't let this happen to you. Trust the professionals at Valentine Insurance. Call 994-1776.
Hey football fans, Laborers Local 530 in Zanesville, Ohio is cheering on all the local high school teams this year. Serving Muskingum, Perry, Noble, and Guernsey counties, Local 530 represents around 400 skilled men and women in the building and construction trades. They work with over 100 signatory contractors, providing committed and experienced laborers for building, heavy highway, and pipeline construction. For more information, give them a call at 740-453-1214. Good luck to all the teams from Laborers Local 530.
Fall means cooler temperatures and the changing of the seasons. The Rogers Company is ready with all heating services. They install furnaces, geothermal, ductless systems for both residential and commercial. They provide repairs and maintenance to all makes and models. On the commercial side, they're the area's refrigeration company. Put the Rogers Company team to work for you. Call 740-685-8677. The Rogers Company says, go Colts!
Hey, Cambridge, your local Dunkin' is hiring. And while everybody knows that America runs on Dunkin', not everyone knows what Dunkin' runs on. We run on incredible crew members, flexible working hours, community spirit, career opportunities, affordable education opportunities, owners that work with you, and a whole lot of other perks. Want to come run with us? Text DONUTSCOLES, that's Donuts Coles, to 85000. America runs on Dunkin', and Dunkin' runs on you. Cambridge Dunkin' is locally owned and operated.
How can you select from insurance companies offering you lizards or ducks? When it comes to protection for your home and auto, you want a company that provides quality insurance products and personalized, fair, friendly claims service. WB Green Insurance represents Westfield Insurance. Their reputation is based on sharing knowledge and building trust. Westfield has been around the neighborhood over 150 years. WB Green Insurance welcomes the opportunity to quote your home, car, and business insurance. Don't be fooled by lizards and ducks. Call 439-1329.
I was sitting in my car and it wouldn't start. I lifted the hood and the engine was falling apart. What would I do? My eyes filled with tears. Then on the radio I heard of West 40 by Pay here, where for a little money down and a little each week, I could have a car, nice, shiny, and sleek. So I walked in the door and I put the money down. Now I got a nice car that I can drive around. West 40 by Pay here will help rebuild your credit. The corner of Dewey and Route 40 in Cambridge, don't you forget it.
West 40 Auto Sales, corner of Route 40 and Dewey Avenue in Cambridge, is home of the guaranteed credit approval, with most loans approved while you wait. Go to their website to fill out an online loan application, west40autosales.com. You'll also find their weekly special listed there.
And we welcome you back to Eugene Capers Field on the campus of Meadowbrook High School, Byesville Local Schools, where the Colts, under Coach Steve Norman, are looking good at the break. It is 51-0 Meadowbrook over Riverview. We are at halftime. Excellent job by both bands, both Riverview and Meadowbrook, putting on quite a show here at the halftime. So this gives us a chance really to kind of think about Meadowbrook a little bit down the road. So this is a team that went 1-9 last year under second year at that time, Coach Steve Norman, and they really took a beating. They were out of some games early, similar to what we've seen tonight with Riverview. As we mentioned in the pregame, by the way, you're listening to the halftime report brought to you by Laborers Local 530, but Meadowbrook last year had some scores. West Muskingum beat them 54-14, Morgan 57-20, New Lex 59-27, Coshocton 55-20, et cetera, 63-0 Cambridge. They've already gotten revenge on that one earlier in the year. But so Meadowbrook last year played some young kids, building the program under Coach Norman, and you can see now after this game tonight, which we can safely say Meadowbrook will win, they will go 4-1 on the season. And I'm sure that they have to feel good about that. But let's look at Meadowbrook for the rest of the balance of the season. The big contest is next week, where John Glenn, who's playing Sheridan at the moment, and the Muskies are losing by the score of 14-0. If that score holds up, it will be John Glenn with the 1 loss and Meadowbrook coming in also at the 4-1 mark. So that's a big contest for John Glenn next week. And if they can escape that one, they've got a little bit of a breather the following week. They go to winless Coshocton, and that's just another one of those last year. Coshocton put it on them 55-20, so that's another revenge matchup for Meadowbrook. So they get by John Glenn if they can, and then Coshocton, and then New Lex, who's having a decent season, not a dominant season. So that game is at home, so that a possible win there. And then they come back home again that week 9 to play Morgan, also another good football team, but not a dominant football team. So a couple of weeks there, 8 and 9 are winnable games, probably 50-50, Dave, I would think, for both New Lex and Morgan. And then the big one in my mind, and that's at West Muskingum. With a little bit of luck, Meadowbrook could be at that point 8-1, 7-2, possibly on the outside, maybe 6-3. Who knows? West Muskingum maybe in the range of 8-2, 9-1. We don't know. So if Meadowbrook keeps playing good football, they have a chance to really play for something in week 10. Not only for their side of the ledger for the division championship, but also playoff possibilities for the Colts. So we haven't looked yet where they may be, and they're certainly not going to get any points tonight. But down the road, they could have some good things happening. By the way, we want to note that Riverview has still not returned to the field. So I don't know what is going on there, but at some point they're going to get penalized, the Black Bears, because they ran the clock down. They put on that extra 3 minutes that they normally do. Well, that extra 3 minutes, although the clock's not running, is well into probably the 2nd or 3rd minute of that break. So I don't know if Riverview understands that they're due on the field, or I should say we're due, Dave, but at some point I think Riverview is going to get penalized.
Well, we know that the visiting teams, since with all the construction going on around the school grounds and so on, now we see Riverview from way out from the far corner of the end zone there. They're just now making their way out from the locker room. They have I mean, not like a 5K, but they have to do quite a hike just to get back to the field here too.
It's far enough that they could come down on buses if they wanted to, but I don't think that the coach probably wouldn't let them. Now, if I were the coach, I'd take the bus down. I'd say, you guys, you march all the way from the Meadowbrook Middle School all the way down to where the field is. Bus driver, start it up, buddy, because you're driving me down to the field. That's just me if I were the coach. But,
shuttle service.
Yeah.
Our Clark Family Practice scoreboard, games from all around the area here. Most of them are at halftime or beyond. Steubenville right now a 20-7 lead, a big one up there in Dover against the Tornadoes. Steubenville with a 2-touchdown lead there. Maysville up 20-0 on Crooksville. Tri-Valley leads at home against New Lexington early 3rd quarter, 21-8 there. West Muskingum, as you said, Meadowbrook's opponent, final game of the season, 7-0 lead over undefeated Philo at this point. So
good one.
A pair of really good MVL teams squaring off there. Same in Thornville, where Sheridan, as they start the 3rd quarter, has a 14-0 lead over John Glenn that Howard mentioned earlier. Beaver Local 34-20 over Union Local. That game close to halftime. Ridgewood pouring it on TCC 42-3. Rosecrans trailing 27-21 to Grove City Christian at the half. Morgan and Coshocton tied up at 21 all early 3rd quarter. Indian Valley has come back after falling behind a touchdown. They lead at St. Clairsville 14-6 late first half in that game. Mansfield a 21-6 lead over New Philadelphia. Monroe Central, they've had their struggles as of late, but they're pouring it on a rather hapless Buckeye local Panther team, 21-0. That's early 3rd quarter down in Woodsfield. Licking Valley 17-0 over Lakewood. Heath right now a halftime lead of 6 over Zanesville, 20-14 lead there. Caldwell is pouring it on Belpre, 42-0. And Martins Ferry has recaptured the lead at Newcomerstown, 21-17. A good one up there in Trojan Town.
All right, so Riverview has made their way onto the field, and they have started the 3-minute clock. So it appears as though the officials are saying, hey, Riverview, you're down 51-0. You had a long
cut you a break.
Yeah, long hike from the locker room. We'll give you a break. Why not?
All right. So we'll take a break along with them. And we'll start the second half here from Eugene Capers Field. 51-0 Colts. Second half kickoff coming.
Stoney's RV Center is the place that makes buying a new RV easy. Ask about their on-site financing with very affordable payments, and they make on-site camper service calls to the area campgrounds. Stoney's RV also carries cargo trailers, car haulers, horse and stock trailers, and open utility trailers. They install hitch systems and fill propane tanks too. Stoney's RV Center, the place that takes camping to the next level, and a proud sponsor of our area high school sports teams.
Looking to buy land? Do you want 5 acres or more, say up to 50 acres? Bruner Land Company off I-77, Vocational Road, Byesville has land for sale. Buy acreage in Ohio, West Virginia, Kentucky, Tennessee, Pennsylvania, and Indiana. Bruner Land Company has 500 tracts of land to choose from and creative financing for buyers. When it's land you want to buy, it's Bruner Land Company you should call. Bruner Land Company, Byesville, off I-77. Give them a call at 685-3064 or go to brunerland.com.
Now located at 16050 McConnellsville Road in Caldwell, Ohio. Patrons Buckeye Mutual Insurance Company is a mutual insurance company established in 1896 for the purpose of providing insurance coverage to rural Ohio. They offer a product to meet your insurance need, whether it is for a farm, rental dwelling, home in town, secondary or seasonal dwelling, churches, or mobile home. They partner with Grinnell Mutual Insurance Company to offer liability coverage to package with their patrons Buckeye Mutual policy. Call today at 638-3604 and follow them on Facebook at Patrons Buckeye.
97.7 on your FM dial. We're WILE-FM, Byesville, Cambridge.
Dave Davidson and Howard Twiggs back on WILE 97.7 and on YRP TV. Claymont and Buckeye Trail, by the way, 13-all at the halftime there, and Barnesville with another big win last night, 35-7 at Shamrock Stadium, and a newly revamped turf field this year for the Shamrocks over River last night in a Thursday night affair. Ohio State football tomorrow afternoon right here on WILE. Howard, 2:30 pregame, I believe, for a 4 o'clock kick with the Hilltoppers of Western Kentucky.
Can't wait to see if the Buckeyes are making any improvements from the last couple of weeks. And I think it'll be a fair test with Western Kentucky. They like to throw the football all over the field. So Ohio State, I think, at this point of the season, still working on some things on both sides of the ball. And I think tomorrow, hopefully, they'll give a very sharp effort and then get ready for week 4 at Notre Dame.
But everybody knows in the Bobcat State, tomorrow, 12 noon kickoff is the game of the week in Ohio. The Iowa State Cyclones and the Bobcats in Athens tomorrow.
Yeah, I would think there would be a big crowd. I mean, for a Power 5 team, Iowa State, to roll into a MAC program, that's a big deal for the Bobcats.
Yep. So our second half kickoff brought to you by Valentine Insurance on Southgate Parkway in Cambridge. We'll have a running clock here, we believe, throughout the entire half here. So mercifully, this should go quickly and painlessly as possible for the Black Bears. The kickoff taken around the 21-yard line. That will be returner Braden Abreu up to the 23-yard line.
Now the question will become for Meadowbrook is, how many guys are going to come in starting to sub? At what point? My guess is the entire bench is going to get emptied for Coach Norman. But, you start to wonder at what point does he really mass substitutions? We'll see.
A mix of first and second teamers just scanning the defense right now for Meadowbrook. We'll try to mention them here as we go along. First down and 10, wing T pistol for Riverview at their own 23-yard line. Down by 51-0 score. And just like the first half, they fumble the snap to start this first half. The quarterback falls on it once, and he was down with the knee around the 13-yard line. So they start off with about a 9-yard setback on the first play from scrimmage, second half.
Have you noticed, Dave, there's a lot of problems between the center and the quarterback or the punter. I don't know why that is tonight, but for some reason they're having a very difficult time just getting that exchange center to either punter or quarterback.
Well, it's mistakes you expect maybe in week 1, not week 5. And Weiss on the end around, trying to find space on the right side, and he's not going to find any there either. He'll lose another yard back to the 13.
Well,
that'll be 3rd and long.
Meadowbrook, I don't think they just sat in the locker room and sang songs. They they worked on a few things. So defensively, they're just going to stay home on this wing when the wing T with the counter through, and they're just going to have guys right there. They're not going to worry about anybody doing this, that, or the other motion or whatever. Just follow the football.
Well, that's really, honestly, it's the one. I think the offense probably gets the credit and the eye test, Howard a little bit, with Huey coming back as quarterback and, all the weapons that he has in the passing game and the running game. But really it's the defense that's been the most improved from last year to this year. This was a bunch last year. They gave up over 40 points a game and couldn't tackle anybody. That's not the case this year.
Yeah, again, I mentioned defensive coordinator Matt Dalton in the pregame tonight. And, he's done a nice job of really, by the way, Riverview took a timeout here on 3rd down and 19. So I agree with you, Dave. The test for Meadowbrook this year has been, can the defense improve? And it certainly has. Lots of extra lunches for the Colts this week in the cafeteria.
And we'll have one of these Meadowbrook Colts will get the +1 Pizza Player of the Game award at the end of this one. Lots to choose from tonight. That might be our toughest decision of the evening. And on 3rd and 19.
The quarterback
gives up.
Capper. Did he keep it? I'm just wondering.
I think he gives up. Was that the? I think that was J.D. Herron. Yeah, I believe Herron, the fullback, carried for about a yard or so, just short of the 15.
All right, here's the punting situation. They are not going to go for it on 4th down from their own, 15, 12-yard line? They're not going to go for it.
Well.
Or are they?
Well,
okay.
They're going to do the same.
Just catch it and punt it. Catch it and punt it.
Let's see if they listen
Catch
to Howard.
It and punt
Caught. Okay, that's a kick.
There you go.
And it's a short one, fielded at
It's
the 30. And a penalty flag comes in, it looks like maybe, and is that Bentley Cedar? And he was maybe horse collar tackled down by Wyatt Weiss inside the 10 around the 8-yard line.
It's only a 15-yard punt, but it's at least you're not losing 7 yards from the line of scrimmage and putting Meadowbrook in scoring position.
No penalty flag down. They were just marking the spot where the catch was made. So a 20-yard return. And the Colts are in business. And as you said, Howard, this is the 3rd time that Meadowbrook has started a drive inside the Riverview 10. And they have started, I believe, 4 drives inside their red zone.
Do they have a backup quarterback in, I wonder? I don't see Justice Huey.
No, Huey is not out there. They will have Michael Ray, a freshman.
Michael Ray now in a quarterback.
At the pistol, 3 wide receivers to the far left side. Another receiver right, that's Jackson Linden, and the handoff will go to running back Colton Snyder. The freshman escapes around the left side, and he will score with an 8-yard touchdown run, Colton Snyder. And the beat goes on with the clock running at 8:20 to go in this 3rd quarter, 57-0 Meadowbrook.
Yeah, that was pretty simple that time. Colton Snyder for the touchdown run, and congratulations to him, his first varsity score. Let's see, is Cedar going to kick the extra point?
He's going to try her again, the lefty. Justice Huey, the holder. Good snap, good hold.
Blocked.
And a jailbreak by the Riverview Black Bear defensive line. Darian Besankin, the senior, with that blocked point after attempt. So the score remains 57-0 Colts, 7:40 and counting in this third quarter. We'll step aside on WILE and YRP TV as our Colts football coverage continues in a moment.
Attention all car seekers, ready to find the perfect new or used car? Look no further than Troy Blair at Dunning Motor Sales, where expert assistance awaits you. Troy Blair is a proud alum of the Meadowbrook Colts. Let him guide you to your dream ride. Troy will ensure you drive away in style with all your questions answered. So don't wait another moment. Visit Dunning Motor Sales today. Experience the difference Troy Blair can make in your car buying journey. You'll be hitting the road in your new vehicle in no time. 740-255-2334.
And our many thanks to the illustrious video director, Brett Klein. I don't know if that's your title or not, Brett, but I've given you that one tonight. And Andrew Dunlap and Brock Valentine just below us here with a seat on the 50-yard line, running the cameras here for us tonight on YRP TV. Thanks for joining us. If you're on the FM side, thanks for joining us there as well. 57-0 Colts, another Valentine Insurance kickoff. Valentine Insurance on Southgate Parkway in Cambridge. Low line drive kick.
Gonna get a break.
Right to one of the Riverview assistant coaches at the 28-yard line. That'll bring it out.
Yeah, penalty.
Like the 35-yard line, I think.
All right. Yep. See if Riverview makes any kind of substitutions. They don't have a very big roster, actually, Dave. I'm not sure that
there's not another complete team over there on the sideline.
I'm counting guys, and I count only about 10 or 12 guys on the other side that aren't on the field. Could they really have a roster of about 25 youngsters?
Oof. I'm assuming no JV game happening on Saturday morning between these two. I'm assuming.
Depends on who you send.
Yeah, I'm assuming that.
Well, you could send some of these guys out there.
First down and 10, Black Bears at their own 35. Halfway through this third quarter with a running clock situation. Offset I toward the left side, and the quarterback Wertz will keep it himself, and he'll be mugged around the 36 with a gain of 1. And let's see, we've got tackle by the Colts number 19, Joey Ochoa, a sophomore, along with a couple of others there. We see on the D-line actually a number that's not even on our roster. 69 at defensive end, but we don't have anybody listed there.
As I looked up and down this Colts roster, they're actually pretty young. They bring a lot of people back next year.
They are very young. And Wertz with the carry. This will be Heron escaping through the left side of the line and reaching over the 45-yard line. The tackle made by Stephen Beach, a sophomore, number 21 for Meadowbrook, a half yard short of the first down, a gain of 8. So J.D. Heron, I don't know if you want to call him the bell cow just yet, as my old friend Mark Withrow would say, but he is probably the man of the evening so far for Riverview, if there is one.
Well, their leading ground game guy is Brody Bruxton with 24 yards, Heron with 17, but he does a lot of his work right up the middle.
Offset short I for Riverview. And the quarterback Wertz will keep it himself, plowing straight ahead. Escaped through the first line of defense and finally is tripped up around the 45 of Meadowbrook, down to the 43-yard line. They'll spot him down.
Good for him. He's actually
best gain of the night for the QB.
Yeah, getting near yardage where he can make it positive for the night. He's still minus 11 yards rushing. But again, you have to credit Meadowbrook's defense for that.
Gain of 10 on that carry. A WB Green Insurance first down for the Black Bears. Down 57-0 and 4 minutes to go third quarter. Offset wing T. And the handoff goes to J.D. Heron. He'll be hogtied down around the 42. A gain of a yard or so. And in on the stop for Meadowbrook was Owen Sine and Amante Lofton, a pair of freshmen, number 26 and 45. Second and 9 play from the 42 of Meadowbrook. Ball on the left hash. Heron, the fullback, offset now to the right side, toward the wide side of the field. And the freshman McGuire Wernz gives it off to Wyatt Weiss, and Weiss nearly had a Colt defender take the handoff for him. He was pressured immediately by Ryan Hare, a 6'2 senior back there, nearly took the handoff away from him. He'll lose a couple of yards. Does Weiss.
Third down.
Well, I think if you're Riverview, clock down to 3 minutes, run it here on third down and try and run it again on fourth down. They haven't shown any kind of passing game tonight. They're 0 for 4. Try to get that first down on 2 carries.
3rd and 11 from the Colt 44. And Wernz about 3 yards behind the line of the pistol. Gives it off on the right end for Wyatt Weiss. Hit around the 40. Bounces off of that to the 37 of Meadowbrook. Tackled about 3 yards short of the first down.
Stephen Beach on that.
Stephen Beach and Braylon Lowry, a sophomore, in on the stop for Meadowbrook. 4th and 3 coming.
Now, this is actually the closest thing we've seen for Riverview tonight for what we would consider a big play. This 4th down and manageable 4-yard line from the Colt 36-yard line.
Second time they've been in Colt territory tonight?
Yes.
They breached it on the last play of the first half, is that right?
Yeah.
4th and 3 play, end around. That'll be Buxton. He escapes, has a WB Green Insurance first down for the Black Bears at the 30, make it the 28-yard line of Meadowbrook. A gain of about 9. And an injured Colt down in the backfield, and that is Colton Snyder, I believe.
No, I don't think it's Snyder.
No.
Is that Steve Beach, maybe? 21?
Is that 21?
20? Yeah.
Not 20.
Colton Snyder's 20. I think Steve Beach is 21.
You're right. Holding that left shoulder very gingerly. Yeah, he's grabbing at it now.
Yeah, this is the one thing you fear as a coaching staff in this kind of a game. You just don't want anybody hurt.
Pretty much all second-teamers out there now for the Colts. Clock will now wind up again at 1:40 and counting. Third quarter, Colts in command tonight, 57-0 now. Riverview driving their deepest penetration of the night at the Colt 28. Out of the pistol, Wernz gives it off. This is Wyatt Weiss around the right tackle. Hit, spun down, driven backward after a gain of about 1 to the 27.
Leading that charge is number 70.
9 carries, 6 yards for Weiss. Leading ground gain 4 at Riverview. 9 carries, 32 yards for Brody Buxton.
One minute already here to go, partner, third quarter. A very brisk third so far. 2nd and 9 Bears. Again out of the pistol, Wyatt the motion man coming right. They'll give it on the counter to the left side, and that is, I think, Buxton. Yes, it is. We'll call it 1 more yard. Just short of the 26.
3rd and 9 now for Riverview, and I think
they won't have to run a play here now either. About a second and a half between game clock and play clock.
Well, I think
might want to.
Yeah,
though.
I was going to say they've got something going. Why not?
15 seconds remaining. Riverview will snap it and run one more play here in the first half, and that's off the quarterback's hands. It's picked up by Buxton around the 41, and he's going to be smothered inside the Colt 40 at the 39. So that's a loss of about 11 more yards at the end of this third quarter. And Riverview, poor Black Bears, just can't stand prosperity. As we come to the end of 3, 57-0 Colts on top. We'll step aside. Our scoreboard update upcoming here on 97.7 WILE FM and on YRP TV. Our fourth quarter will come back at you in a moment.
Attention all car seekers, ready to find the perfect new or used car? Look no further than Troy Blair at Dunning Motor Sales, where expert assistance awaits you. Troy Blair is a proud alum of the Meadowbrook Colts. Let him guide you to your dream ride. Troy will ensure you drive away in style with all your questions answered. So don't wait another moment. Visit Dunning Motor Sales today. Experience the difference Troy Blair can make in your car buying journey. You'll be hitting the road in your new vehicle in no time. 740-255-2334.
People's Bank's vision is to be the best community bank in America. People's Bank provides local, hometown relationship-based banking with 132 full-service branches for all of your financial needs. As your community bank, People's Bank strives to make our communities a better place to live, work, and play. We would love a chance to earn your business. People's Bank, working together, building success. Member FDIC.
New quarterback 9.
Howard Twiggs, Dave Davidson back on WILE-FM and YRP TV. Gavin Huff, a freshman in a quarterback now for Riverview on a 4th down and long. Play action fake. Huff running for his life, escapes a couple of Colts, tries to dart outside, stripped of the football, and Meadowbrook recovers at the 49-yard line. Falling on that one. And the recovery by Meadowbrook's Corbin Sichna, the senior at 6'3", 160 pounds. A loss of another 8 yards for Gavin Huff, freshman QB for the Black Bears, and the Colts take over on downs. Clock stopped momentarily at 11:40 to play 4th quarter, and what will be arguably the fastest second half in high school football history.
Not as fast as some of these people are going to get to their cars.
Some have a fairly healthy walk to their cars. Of course, the parking situation is really there.
Wheeler.
Thank you, Jeff Wheeler. I had Jeff Stevens from Woodsfield in my brain. That's a handoff for Colton Snyder through the middle of the line. Picks up 5 or 6.
By the way, you mentioned Jeff Wheeler. I tell you what, we go a lot of places, and many, if not all, the press box areas are well maintained, and the people running them do a great job of the hospitality, the foods and the drinks. Jeff Wheeler's big time, man. I got to tell you, this is first class food and drink here.
Appreciate all that. 7-yard gain for Snyder. And the Colts offense running again inside the 45 of Riverview. And this will be the quarterback, Michael Ray, taking it himself. The keeper around the left end. Stop, looks like just short of the first down, around the 41. Gain of a couple. And the Bears, Daniel McCarthy Jr. with the tackle, number 63. 3rd and less than a yard now for the Colts. Our thanks again to our sponsors tonight for tonight's FM broadcast on WILE and YRP TV. Duncan and Cambridge, Myra Shearer for Municipal Judge, Stoney's RV, Troy Blair with Dunning Motor Sales, Forshee Air Picks, People's Bank, Valentine Insurance, and Doan Ford. Third down, a handful of inches for the Colt offense as Michael Ray gives it off to Snyder. Big hole up the middle, breaks a tackle at the 27 to the 20, 15, 10, 5, and he'll score to the far end of the end zone from 41 yards out. 63-0 Meadowbrook.
That's his second touchdown of the football game. 41-yard run. Colton Snyder looking good. I tell you what, Dave, 3 carries, 55 yards, and 2 touchdowns for Colton Snyder. Extra lunch for that guy this week in the cafeteria. He's what, a freshman, you said? I tell you what, these Colts are going to be heard from, if not only this year, certainly next year. They got a lot going on. All right, here's our man.
More PAT practice. This time it's going to be Braylon Lowry, a sophomore, a right footer with the kick attempt. And again, this time it's blocked easily by Buxton, who broke through the line. They haven't really, in the kicker's defense for both Cedar or Lowry, the blockers up front really have not quite done the job of giving the kicker some space to get the ball up in the air.
Safe to say, in practice every week, I think Meadowbrook works on the 2-point conversion. They're only trying these extra points because of the nature of this game, but this is a 2-point conversion team, and down the road it may help them win a game.
8.5 minutes and counting remaining in the 4th quarter. 63-0 Meadowbrook here. Howard, let's take a look at our We'll go ahead and call it our King Carpet and Swim Away Pool and Spa play of the game, and that occurred early on here in this game.
Well, I think the play of the game has to be the big bomb that really got things going. That's Justice Huey to Nick Norman. It was a 33-yard pass on the second possession of the game, and that just pretty much said where this game was at. Bang, 33 yards, perfect ball, perfect catch. It was all good for Meadowbrook, so I like that as our play of the game.
All right, our play of the game sponsored by King Carpet and Swim Away Pool and Spa. Some other scores going on. We'll get those here in a minute. Right now, our Valentine Insurance kickoff by
that's a good one.
Bentley Cedar. Right through the hashes, bounces at the 21, gets past the return man for Riverview, scooped up at the 11. That'll be Braden Abreu, and he'll get out past the 30 after a slow start and pick up about 20 yards on the kickoff return. Steubenville, kind of a surprise to me a little bit. Dover was an improved team. They've gone back to their spread offense this year. Steubenville is down an offensive lineman. They lost last week too, 34-7 in the early fourth quarter up in Dover.
I was just going to say that's also at Dover.
Maysville a shutout, pitching a shutout right now, late third quarter on Crooksville, 20-0. Still Sheridan up by 2 touchdowns. Howard shutting out the John Glenn offense, an offense that has really been putting up some big points so far this year after really a lot of offensive struggles a year ago. 14-0 Sheridan there in that one. Tri-Valley up 24-8 on New Lex. And the handoff to the Black Bears up the middle, up to the 36-yard line, a pickup of 3. J.D. Heron, I believe, with the carry. After they unpile some humanity.
Yep, Ray on the tackle that time for the Colts.
Nope, let's call, that's actually Jay Fox, a freshman, number 21. And at running back. Approaching 6.5 minutes to go in this one. West End still up 7-0. The last score we've gotten from them, shutting out Philo, which is 4-0 going into that game. A gain of a couple again for Fox. Gain of another, we'll call it 2. And what other interesting ones we got? Still Morgan and Coshocton.
Yeah, it's
21 all.
It was 21-7. Morgan. Coshocton's come back.
You know, you were talking about the end of the schedule here for Meadowbrook coming up. Now, it's still long, 3 or 4 weeks away, but Morgan and West End, I mean, those are 2 teams in the MVL that, boy, they're really puzzling because, they have had such dismal seasons, several years back, and now really in the last 2 years, those 2 teams and those 2 schools have really picked up the football program. That's going to be a fumble on Riverview, again, from the quarterback exchange, and it's going to be recovered by number 69. We don't have a 69 on our roster. Trying to figure out who that is.
Meanwhile, New Lex will take over the football clock, moving 5:20 to go here in the football game. That is turnover number 3 for Riverview, and that's unfortunate because the Bears were putting together a little bit of a drive, but nevertheless the Colts take back over, Dave.
That was Javon Black with the recovery. He's the man, the mystery man wearing 69. And Michael Ray will take the snap, plunge straight ahead for a gain of 3. Under 5 minutes to go in this one. And the Colts rushing game right now, the key is stay fresh for John Glenn and homecoming in New Concord next week.
The JV football team will travel to Carrollton tomorrow morning.
Okay.
To take on the
There's our
Warriors
answer.
beginning at 10 a.m.
So Meadowbrook JVs will play Carrollton. They'll go on the road at Carrollton tomorrow morning, 10 a.m.
Now, Meadowbrook, I'm thinking at this point, Dave, I don't think the coaches want to score. They don't want to put 70 on them, but run straight up the middle is pretty good yardage.
Michael Ray for a WB Green Insurance first down, gain of 7 more at the 20-yard line of Riverview. Under 4 minutes to go in the game. 63-0 Meadowbrook over Riverview. Black Bears will be shut out for the second time this year, it looks like. They have really put together only one faint threat of scoring on a drive in this game tonight. Meadowbrook will use all the play clock here. Down to 5 seconds as Michael Ray will set up in the pistol. And again, they're going to go and they're going to take a knee right now. It looks like that's a high snap. It gets away from Michael Ray, so a young second team mistake there. Meadowbrook able to fall on it. Ray recovers it back at the 27, but that'll be a loss of 7 for the Meadowbrook quarterback. Bringing up 2nd and long. What do you think here, Howard? Let's look at our Stoney's RV drive of the game. You wrote this one down earlier here too, and this one also occurred early in the game.
The game's been over since the first drive of the game, has it not?
Pretty much.
Why don't we just call it the way it is, Dave? The first drive of the game is the drive of the game.
73 yards,
Yeah,
9 plays, I think, and
pass
capped
play.
off by the Huey to Landon Kuhn 26-yard TD pass.
And a knee taken by the Colts.
So our Stoney's RV play drive of the game. First opening drive of the contest for the Colts, in which only took 1:41 seconds for them to put the first score of the night on the board. And a nice job here by Steve Norman and
you don't need
the
70.
gang
You don't need 70.
doesn't exactly improve the statistics rushing-wise, but 3rd down and about 19. And they'll run the play clock now down to 5. They will snap it again here and burn off as much time as possible. Another 5-yard loss.
I think the officials are not going to set the play up yet, which is good officiating. No, I guess they are. Now they're going to do it. So I think Meadowbrook, or I should say Riverview, will get the ball back with a little bit of loose change.
So now, the only thing we have left to think about for the most part here, partner, is our Meadowbrook Colts player of the game from Plus One Pizza.
I have no idea. I mean, so many guys stood out for the Colts.
We'll think on that one.
Yep.
Maybe Brett Klein has the toss-up vote, perhaps.
Tiebreaker. Does he know? Is he related to anybody?
Everybody's related to somebody.
Yeah, well, can you share that pizza? All right, now.
And we'll have a change of possession. Colts take a knee one more time. Riverview will have it at the 41-yard line on what we expect will be the final play of the game upcoming.
Yeah, you know, when I start to think about the player of the game, I mean, Braden Black had a nice game, but 8 carries for 66 yards. They're just going to end the game. Nice job by Riverview of saying, okay, we surrender. Thank you, Riverview. That's good for both teams.
So the final score will be Meadowbrook 63, Riverview nothing. Our post-game report sponsored by People's Bank here on 97.7 FM will be upcoming. Howard Twiggs will throw together some stats for both sides. And we will, as promised, have our Plus One Pizza player of the game for Meadowbrook, which will be a tough decision. We'll figure that one out during our post-game report as well. In the meantime, we'll go back to our studio at 97.7 FM, a final scoreboard update. And Howard and I will come back with more in the post-game report sponsored by People's Bank. Back after this.
Myra Shearer? Myra who?
Hi, I'm Myra Shire, and I'm running to be the next judge of the Cambridge Municipal Court. No matter how you pronounce my last name, most people know me as Myra, a dedicated public servant. Myra, the assistant law director. Myra, a community volunteer with my husband Jeff. If elected judge, I promise that I will serve Guernsey County with honesty and integrity. I respectfully ask for your vote on November 7th.
Vote Myra in November for Municipal Court Judge. Paid for by Myra Shire for Judge.
I'm not buying till I check on vote.
Most of us are faced with uncertainty every day. Your job, your finances, sporting events, schooling for your children, and so much more. With so much uncertainty surrounding you, there's one auto dealership that you can be certain about, and that's Doan Ford. You can be certain that you'll always get a great deal and the best service afterwards. In business for nearly 60 years has given Doan Ford the reputation of being a strong, reliable dealership. Be certain. Choose Doan Ford. Online at DoanFord.com.
Hey, football fans, Laborers, Local 530 in Zanesville, Ohio is cheering on all the local high school teams this year. Serving Muskingum, Perry, Noble, and Guernsey counties, Local 530 represents around 400 skilled men and women in the building and construction trades. They work with over 100 signatory contractors, providing committed and experienced laborers for building, heavy highway, and pipeline construction. For more information, give them a call at 740-453-1214. Good luck to all the teams from Laborers Local 530.
Raider Rehab in Byesville wants to wish the Meadowbrook football team good luck as they enter the 2023 season. Raider Rehab is Byesville area's only outpatient physical therapy clinic providing quality, patient-centered, one-on-one care, accepting all insurances and no waiting list. Experience quality care today, only at Raider Rehab. For more information, visit their website at RaiderRehabPT.com or give them a call, 740-685-9800. Go Colts! Fall means cooler temperatures and the changing of the seasons. The Rogers Company is ready with all heating services. They install furnaces, geothermal, ductless systems for both residential and commercial. They provide repairs and maintenance to all makes and models. On the commercial side, they're the area's refrigeration company. Put the Rogers Company team to work for you. Call 740-685-8677. The Rogers Company says, go Colts!
Looking to buy land? Do you want 5 acres or more, say up to 50 acres? Bruner Land Company off I-77 Vocational Road, Byesville has land for sale. Buy acreage in Ohio, West Virginia, Kentucky, Tennessee, Pennsylvania, and Indiana. Bruner Land Company has 500 tracts of land to choose from and creative financing for buyers. When it's land you want to buy, it's Bruner Land Company you should call. Bruner Land Company, Byesville, off I-77. Give them a call at 685-3064 or go to brunerland.com.
97.7 on your FM dial. We're WILE-FM, Byesville, Cambridge.
Welcome back, everyone, to the post-game report brought to you by People's Bank, the good people at People's Bank, bringing you the post-game report. Before we forget, we do want to name the player of the game, and that belongs to number 4, Braden Black, who was the leading rusher on the night for the Colts. So, just to review, the play of the game was the Huey pass to Norman. The drive of the game, the very first drive of the game, a 73-yard drive, Huey to Kuhn. And then the player of the game brought to you by Plus One Pizza, Braden Black. All right, let's take a look at some final numbers. Riverview will drop to 0-5 on the campaign. They were 0 for 4 from passing, and on the ground, the Bears had 35 rushes of the football for 49 yards, and that's their total offense of the night. They were led by Brody Buxton, 11 carries for 22 yards. Gavin Huff came in, had 1 carry, didn't gain anything. Jay Fox had a couple of carries for 4 yards. J.D. Herron had 5 for 18. McGuire Wentz would end up losing 11 yards on 8 carries, and 9 carries for Wyatt Weesey, and he would end up with 6 yards. As we mentioned, nothing through the air for the Bears. They did lose the football 3 times on turnovers and were penalized 6 times for 35 yards. For the Colts, on the ground, they had 24 carries for 196 yards. Keep in mind, most of their drives were of the short variety as they had the short field. Dylan Rivera, a couple of carries for 24. Cooper McManaway, 5 for 30. Braden Black, as we mentioned, was the leading ball carrier. He had 8 carries for 66 yards. Justice Huey, a couple for 17. Colton Snyder, 3 carries for 55 yards, including the 2 touchdowns in the second half. And then Michael Ray, in some backup quarterback duty, had 3 carries for 4 yards. Through the air, all in the first half for the Colts. Justice Huey was 7 of 10 for 113 yards. Landon Kuhn, 3 catches for 50. Nick Norman, the one big bomb for 33 in the touchdown, and then Jacob Burris, 3 catches for 30. That adds up to 113 total yards for the Colts. A very impressive 309, 6 penalties, no turnovers. And that will take care of the numbers, my friend. And we still have to talk about who scored, when, what, and where.
All right. So basically, Justice Huey, 3 touchdown passes tonight. Brandon Kuhn, Nick Norman, Kuhn 2 of them, 26, 33, and 4 yards. Huey a 4-yard rush in the first quarter, 30-0 after 1 for Meadowbrook. They would tack on 3 more scores. Braden Black, a 1-yard touchdown run with a 2-point conversion attempt, 4-yard run for Cooper McManaway, and then an 8-yard run for Dalen Rivera with a PAT by Cedar, and that made it 51-0 at the half. Meadowbrook added on a couple of touchdowns. Colton Snyder with both of those, an 8-yard run and a 41-yard run for Meadowbrook to close out the scoring with the PATs no good. 63-0 Meadowbrook on top. So looking at, the second half schedule here, Howie, for Meadowbrook. Now, next week, John Glenn's got a homecoming game. Looks like they're going to lose to Sheridan tonight at Sheridan. They were still down 14-0 fourth quarter.
Okay, so a couple of 4-1 teams battling out next week at New Concord. So winnable game, obviously, for both teams. But then you get a little
4 out of these 5 games in the second half are going to be tough for Meadowbrook.
Absolutely, all winnable, though. You'd figure they'll beat a Coshocton team that's currently winless, but New Lex, Morgan, and West Muskingum all right there. So it's going to be very exciting for the Colts.
So John Glenn and Meadowbrook will be squaring off in New Concord with a 7 o'clock kickoff next week. That'll be on one of the games on our AVC sports stations next week. So John Glenn, let's just a quick look at a handful of the other scores. Tri-Valley 31-8 over New Lex. West Muskingum has added a touchdown against previously unbeaten Philo. It looks like the Electrics are going to go down at West M. They're down 14-0 there. Morgan, Coshocton has taken a 1-point lead, 28-27 at home against Morgan. So that'd be a huge win for Coshocton, who has yet to win this year. 28-27 lead there. Sheridan final now 14-0. They have shut out John Glenn, a John Glenn Muskie team that's really rung up some big points so far in the first 4 games up until tonight. So those basically are the MVL scores to pass along. So should be a good one next week between the Muskies and the Colts in New Concord.
Yep, it's going to be exciting second half of the year coming up for great football games, and hopefully we can bring you amongst the best.
Reminder, too, before we, Howard and I head out, Ohio State football right here on 97.7 FM tomorrow. 4 o'clock kickoff with Western Kentucky, 2:30 pregame for that one. Our thanks to Brett Klein, Brock Valentine, and Andrew Dunlap, our video crew on the YRP TV side. They're the champs tonight. Nice job, guys. Appreciate that. Another mention of our WILE FM sponsors as well: WB Green Insurance, Surgent Construction, Patrons Buckeye Mutual, Laborers Local 530, West 40 Auto Sales, Rogers Company, Redder Rehab, Bruner Land Company, People's Bank, Valentine Insurance, Doan Ford, Duncan and Cambridge, Myra Shearer for Municipal Judge, Forshe Air Picks, Troy Blair with Dunning Motor Sales, and Stoney's RV. Final thoughts here, pal?
Well, it's one way. That was Meadowbrook over a Riverview team that things will get better for Meadowbrook. Things are good. I think Coach Norman's done a fabulous job of building this program to where they would like it to be. Excellent win tonight, but if you're Coach Norman and the crew, you start work tomorrow because you've got a big one next week over in New Concord. And the Meadowbrook Reserves will be traveling to Carrollton to take on the Warrior JVs tomorrow, 10 a.m. kickoff in Carrollton for that one. Our thanks again, Athletic Director Jeff Wheeler and all the gang here at Rolling Hills at Eugene Capers Field in Byesville. Final score once again, Meadowbrook 63, Riverview nothing. For all of our YRP TV and WILE FM crew, Howard Twiggs and Dave Davidson saying good night from Byesville.
This has been a presentation of ABC Sports.